take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy. Well, I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, and such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say baby. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We may lose and we may win, but we will never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. So take it easy. Trouble on my mind. Looking for a lover who won't blow my cover. She's so hard to find. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. Your sweet love is gonna save me. Oh, we got it easy. All right. So I hear the devil, Satan mouth, Hellmouth was open up. My name in the title and whatever, some bullshit. Summer's name, obviously. So I feel like I'm being summoned by Satan. I figure it's, alright, since all the content's defamation, etc., blah, blah, bullshit on me. So, new rules.
And they get pleasure.
And since I fear no devil, man, or God, we're just gonna start a list and back here, I guess, on what the devil has to say about midnight. It should be intriguing. It'll definitely be new. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'll be super triggered. I'll give
Hello,
you
hello,
pains.
hello. Hey, Brat Brat, you number one, girl. Number one in here tonight.
And just so y'all aware, this is what I'm gonna do for myself. I'm gonna at least do one favor. And no PG chat. And then I'm gonna lay it in here carefully, so as not to disturb the breeding ground of the pebbles and propaganda pushers and bullshit artists and wackos and nut jobs. Oh my. And the fake fuckery and fake views and the fake everything else. Anyway, I'm sure this will be an enlightening experience for all of us. I'm sure that once he realizes a bunch, which is probably about 3.5 minutes ago, that it's really gonna go full tilt. And that's fun. The fuck, I ain't aired in all these years. Do I care? No. Are you going to listen or get anything from? Nah, not really. But we're just gonna listen to all the terrible things I say and help it get some views or subs or tithing or so it can rail and yell and double talk and slither thing. We'll see how it works out, okay? Anyway, I apologize in advance for letting the devil through the devices, but hey, new rules.
All right. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless.
But we're gonna speed it up because it's funnier that way.
Prayers and love. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Love and prayers for Miss Norway. And prayers and love and light to everyone in the chat. Hey, girl, we appreciate it. God bless. Number one. All right. Number two, Australia. All right, PG. Much love. Hey, girl. Good to see you tonight. Good to see you. Mara, you're number three. Hello, PG and Summer's Army. Much love. Much love to you, girl. Much love to you. And let's see who is number four. Oh, Mrs. Justice. Hi, much love, PG. Prayers and much love. Hey, girl, appreciate it. God bless. God bless. You got the scales of justice there. Amen. All right, let's roll down through here. Seeking truth. Hey, that is beautiful. Hello, PG Mods and Chat. Much love. Oh, that is gorgeous. Purple hearts and prayers for Summer. God bless. Hey, Robin. Good to see you, hon. Good to see you, Bridget. Good to see you. Missing puzzle pieces. Angel. Good to see everybody in here tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely, girl. You know it. You know it. God bless. No summer, no peace. Hey, Lisa, how you doing, sweetie? There's Linda. Says hello, PG. Hello, hello, hello to you. Hey, Karen, how you doing tonight? Deputy Sheriff, good to see you. Don't forget to show Summer some love by giving this video a thumbs up. Amen. Amen. Absolutely. It will help. It will help to keep her channel going. It will help to also help other missing kids as well. Not just Summer, but other missing kids we cover as well.
Yeah, hit a like. It'll help all the babies and the children. Bringing this devil up in it so she can come up with other bullshit and cover and do this and make fun of Rice Mills, condone whatever, blah, blah, all the devilry and the works. Yeah, to really help guys do that for other missing children, bring this into wherever, whatever case, it'll do a fantastic job helping the missing and murdered children. Oh, yeah. It's been a lovely one so far.
I understand, but that isn't why I asked for the thumbs up. I asked because as we can see the stars in the sky, maybe, just maybe, Summer can look down here and see the thumbs going up and how many people love and care about her. Just maybe.
She keeps saying that over the years and has. Lately she's doubled down on it. Still one of the most disgusting things I and many who actually know Summer have ever heard in our goddamn lives. I'm pretty sure Summer would run from this fucking predator hellmouth bitch. Sure wherever Summer is, she's not concerned with Satan's goddamn likes on her channel. Right? And God.
Hey, Carrie, that is beautiful. Hey, TV Mods Chat. Good to see you all. Much love to you, girl. Absolutely. Cindy, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see all you guys in here. Janet, Lucky. I'm trying to get as many as I can, guys. As many as I can. Mary, good to see you. Tropicana. Hey, Dirtmouth, how you doing? Says, hey, TG, much love to all. Much love to you. Absolutely, the legendary. Welcome in if you're just getting here.
Pretty sure wherever Summer is, or other missing or murdered children, they're probably thinking of real rescue and real help and real law enforcement and waiting for justice, not likes and clicks for fucking channels hashtagging their name.
Please go hit the like to keep Summer in something. Okay. Algorithm. Go hit the like to keep Summer in something. Okay. Welcome in if you're just getting here.
What the fuck? Hold on. I'm gonna change the speed on that back to normal. What'd she just say?
Please go hit the like to keep Summer Some are in something. Okay. Okay.
Oh, somehow every time you listen to it, it gets worse. Somehow she manages to get worse. Must have been a 16 weed brownie and 12 pack night. Just getting right. Well, I've used that line. Well, hit the like heap. Uh, Somewhere in, something?
Algorithm. I think that's what it is.
An algorithm. I think that's what it is. Summer shouldn't be considered where algorithms are concerned. Satan. You terrible.
Hey, Nicole's, how you doing, sweetie? How you doing? Good to see you. Wanda, good to see you.
This really is at normal speed. We're gonna have to speed this up. Jesus Christ.
Betty Pearl, Cindy. All right. What I wanted to talk about tonight is I had just got some new information.
Oh gosh.
Out here that about Jody Sue. Jody Sue in 2021. In 2021, Jody Sue did talk about the cemetery, Morrison Cemetery, in 2021. And
yeah, I have quite a few times. Fuck's your point? Oh, are you gonna try to get more from me? Oh no! Does it mean that then I all this time I've been like, oh y'all stupid with the grave thing? It must mean that whatever I was saying don't get it because I meant no. There you go. But let's hear it.
I was being asked, PG, why would Andy come out here and ask, not ask, but have the audacity to say that she's in Morrison Cemetery? They're like, why?
Have the audacity. What the fuck? Because that's what he said. That's what the fuck he said. It's not having the audacity to say. He just said, that he feels that way. Though I know he does. Like, I don't know. Boy's gotten stupid and smoked himself idiotic. And allowed to do whatever with homie. I don't know. Fuck if I know. He's always been stupid. He's just gotten stupider. That ain't my problem. Either way, that's not having the audacity to say, bitch, you've said worse. But everybody, you've talked about the cemetery before for years, long before it was public. Shut the fuck up, Prayer Garden. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, if she's there, why would you say that? Because they ain't getting in any trouble. They're not. They have been telling the truth about a lot of things. And when law enforcement goes and to ask them about it, they say, they get away with it by saying they can say whatever they want to us out here, as long as they're not saying it to them.
What the hell? So the boy says, well, I feel like she's Morrison. That somehow means if law enforcement showed up and was like, hey, why do you think she's Morrison? He'd be like, oh no, just what do you do? Huh? You are fucking ridiculous. God damn, bitch. Is this where your content is these days? Holy shit, who's this working on? I mean, it's about 243 bot views, 100 of your nut bags, basically, are left over from that. Goddamn, what, you little cult followers? Shit, far. I don't even know how they fucking don't flee your demon ass. Cause, like, shit, you change the fucking path you're on every fucking 15 seconds. You ain't ever stayed with nothing. Homie, like, you're the most inconsistent motherfucker I've ever seen. Like, only the dumbest motherfuckers or other demons on earth could ever be like, yeah, PD. Like, good lord. It doesn't even make sense. She started out, look, even if he's like, yeah, I think Morrison's too dirty, and the cop's like, why do you think that? I don't know, I just feel like that. But he's not allowed a fucking opinion or to act stupid or to be stupid? Bitch, you have literally run around saying you covered up for the Wells. You're the only person in existence I've ever known to say that. And it's clear that you fucking were. That's the hell of it. It's clear you were, PG. And then you want to be like, oh, well, yeah. If law enforcement acts and ask them about why they feel like they're, some are gonna be more, all they gotta be is like, well, you did, and then they get by with, what'd you do to get by with admitting to covering up for the fucking Wells and then actually doing it? Looks like to me, in my opinion, allegedly, I mean, did you do that? Did you pull a trick? It's just for show. But it's clearly not, because there's evidence you're doing some fuck shit. I mean, you quit projecting on their best home slice.
And they just shut the door. They just basically shut the door on law enforcement. They know,
Yeah, sure. Every time you show up, everybody's just like, slam. Fuck you, man. Bitch, what? How do you tell people fake shit like that? You don't know what the fuck goes on. They basically just slammed the door on them. Who the fuck said that? Who told you that? Nobody told you that. You have no way of knowing where the other, I mean, other than stalkers that come by when y'all know LE or feds, or when it's been you all responsible for the hoax calls or the twisting, and you keep an eye out real good to see when they show up, and then the whole world knows in here because you all are expecting them to show up at some point at one of our plate because you've done some hoax bullshit, twisting shit, right? Give us, oh my god, your games, you're fucking psycho. Goddamn Satan pants. Stop
that law enforcement can't do anything, as long as they're not saying it to law enforcement. Like if Jody Sue was to say, if she would have went to law enforcement and said, you go ask Andy,
And what the fuck did I do?
What he was giving those little girls, giving Candace to sedate little girls so they could be touched. Well, then it better be true. It best be true. Because if you give false information to law enforcement, you can actually, be prosecuted and put in jail for it. But if you come out here and you say it to all the YouTubers, and then law enforcement comes knocking on your door, which they did. They went to Jody Sue's store, I know that for a fact. And they asked her about that particular thing that she said.
Oh, we know y'all were waiting on that. We've seen the stalkers that, and all that. Y'all have called in each and every hoax, and every time one of us have said big words or done every young twist, and we weren't very early on aware of how to make sure we say all of that to where shit can't be misconstrued, this can't be that, and it still can, no matter what the fuck we say or how we say it or what we mean or what we leave. Y'all can do something with it, call whatever, create fucking havoc, and y'all know you do that, and then you little stalkers go back and forth until they see, and then they're like, oh gosh, content, and whatever else. We know how many hoaxes and bullshit and fuckery y'all been up to, including that purse vault bait and dildos and ditches and bodies and campers and tag. We know, homie. We know. So I'm sure you do know for a fact. I know for a fact they were here too over there.
Going over there selling, stuff to Candace to sedate the children, little girls to be touched, including Summer. The thing is, when they went to ask her, that's what they got. They got, did I say it to you? No, I didn't say it to you. I can say whatever I want, to these YouTubers. I can, basically bullshit them all day long, say any damn thing I want as long as I don't say it to you. Why are you here? And, shut the door on them. And that's pretty much what they got. That's what they got from her. So,
PG, did the FBI or TBI or all the other agencies, did they, call you back from all your all's YouTube fuckery thought? And we're like, oh yeah, here's what happened, here's how it went down, here's what Jody Sue said. Now, girl, you know damn good and goddamn well they did not. Nor did we slam the door on them. Nor were we like, oh, it's just YouTube. I just said it to YouTube. No, I took the time to explain to them and, told them the situation, what was going on. And, made sure I was very clear with words. And wouldn't you just love to know what all they actually were told, or what the conversation entailed, or all that other stuff. Wouldn't you just love to know, PG? But you ain't gonna. But I tell you what didn't happen was ain't nobody slammed the door, avoided them or any other thing, and we were like, I just said that to your name, and no, that ain't what happened in the least. I mean, I'm sure Monster and Becca told the whole world because I know that day we seen it, and yeah, they were definitely having to talk to and blah blah. But yeah, I'm gonna bet they didn't do that either. But yeah, but I'm sure they probably told you well what all went down there. I mean, shit, they'll sell anything off. Um, but yeah, that's not what happened. But your narrative for your audience, I hope it sells for you, homie. And wouldn't you love to know what conversation actually took place, how it took place, and what I was saying? But you don't. And if you're telling your chat over there that in the world that you somehow were called back by the FBI or the TBR, any agency, and were like, hey, this is what happened, this is what was going on. And then your people are stupider than I think, and well, I guess you and Dawn need to go buy a piece of fucking land in Utah to go to that weird ass church. I don't know what to say. Even though you wouldn't lame to do that last time. You know, we're trying to lift off some other shit like before. So, I don't know, buddy. Um, Whatever you say, it must be true, Satan. Must be true.
I guess it's okay. You know, I guess it's okay to come out here and tell the truth as long as you tell law enforcement, that I didn't say it to you. And as long as I don't say it to you, it's not a crime and shut the door in their faces. I guess you can get away with that. Matter of fact, these people seem to be getting away with a whole lot of things because I think if law enforcement came and knocked on any of our doors to ask us about a statement like that, I think we would be getting took downtown. I think we would be getting, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go with them? The easy way or the hard way. I think we're going to be getting took downtown, even if they had to, get a court order to bring you in.
Right.
You're probably going to get took in somehow, some way. So, why these people are getting, I don't understand it, to be honest with you. I'm not understanding, why this is going on with law enforcement. You got to wonder. You got to wonder with everything they have, all the things that, because I know that they, people say, oh, they're...
Well, I wondered the other night when you, for weeks, defrauded everybody in front of everything, and there's proof and evidence out here online that you did with Marlena, and that you took her for a rhyme. How it is you weren't knocked and talked to or taken in on charges by Ellie themselves, who could very well prosecute that if they seen it, without even anybody, so I'm over here still wondering. And hey, who the hell knows, since it is in federal territory where it's being committed over, and online, a well-organized group, maybe, they got time, they got sweet-ass time with it. I don't know, PG. You do you couch cushion diver.
Facts in Summer's case. Well, you must not be too intelligent if you're not seeing no facts in Summer's case. There is a lot of facts in Summer's case. Fact number one is Candace, Grandis, and Summer went into...
Yeah, I know what facts, man. Like, I mean, you spent years on there making sure nobody actually knows the facts, bitch. Digging, covering up shit for everybody, like cat turds, writing scripts, putting out all the misinformation there could possibly ever be. Shit, you make Squall look like child's play, homie. Fuck you mean? Or do you just mean the PG facts? You're fantastic slick.
For Tennessee and picked up a 15-year-old child. Fact, they stopped at a smoke shop and they bought this child illegal substances. One of those things happened to be Twisted Teas and God only knows what else. And, and they allowed this 15-year-old child to indulge in this illegal stuff.
God knows what else is not a fact. That's you speculating. And narrative driving. Just saying.
At that swimming hole. Maybe even before they got to a swimming hole. These are all facts. Fact is, camera came on. This 15-year-old kid turns around, looks at the camera like, what the F are you doing? What the F are you doing? Fact, this 15-year-old child goes out and starts into the water towards...
What the fuck? It doesn't sound like a fact. I didn't see that on the Q&A for the Fed's website on Summer's case. Fact. The camera come on, this kid looks at the camera like, what the fuck? I don't recall that being one of the facts of Summer's case listed on the TBI website or anything. Bear Garden. That's weird. But you carry on. Fuck are we listening to? How do people listen to shit? I'll never figure it out. The power of Satan compels you. I don't fucking know. Fucking idiots.
Missing child, Summer Moon, Utah Wells, and the camera goes off. It goes off. That's the end of it. The next video we see is 3.2 miles away from Ben Hill Road. And this child is propped up on some milk jugs and boxes.
Oh, so you're trying to make it look like it jumps, so like a predator in water, and then the next video suddenly turns on and it's somewhere in the back. So, I love your girl. You really fancy yourself a writer or a storyteller, don't you? You suck at this. Whoever that fucking weird AI one is that runs the mic, and then all the others are far better.
All dressed when this 15-year-old boy has said they put the boxes in the back of the truck, the back in the bed. They had the milk was in the bed of the truck. And that's what he was telling Chris. And then it went from the boxes are in the back of the truck and the milk was in the back of the truck to I was holding the milk. Oh, I was holding it. I set it in the middle. Well, if he set it in the middle, then that would have put Summer on the driver's side door. That would have put the milk in the middle, and that would have put his big ass right there, riding in the passenger side, in the back seat, passenger side.
It's weird how she remembers things she wants to, and she gets them mixed up, right? But then when she wants to, she can remember those two. It's almost like she does the mix-up and the garbage duo on purpose. Right? To fuck with people, fuck with Summer's case, fuck with her friend. It's almost as if.
Grandest. Now, when they got home, he says he don't remember how he got out. I don't remember how I got out. Yeah, you do. You went right out the door you got in, called the passenger side, back passenger door. You got the hell out. You ran up into the house. Summer got carried into that house, and she was wet, and she was in a bathing suit. Because Hunter said, pillow. Oh, well, she was laying against it.
A bathing suit. Has anybody got on that Urban Dictionary yet of putting a picture of Craig Arden's avatar over there? And the term bathing suit. Anybody? I gotta go check that out.
Door wet on that pillow because she's the only one who went swimming. That's what he said. So if she was laying against the driver's side door, all wet, on that pillow, then she was not dressed after swimming. She was wet laying against that door when they went through back over to Walgreens. She was wet laying against that door through Sonics. She was wet laying against that door at Priceless. And she was wet laying against that door when they got to Hunter's house. Just saying. Now, she was supposed to have a slushie along with at Sonics. They got slushies. Summer was supposed to have a slushie. To my understanding, a purple or blue one. I can't remember. If you can remember, please tell me. It was purple or blue. But I do know that there was no purple and there was...
I think somebody said blue and it was like the ocean water. One, and I don't remember what else, but yeah, and...
on Summer's mouth. What was on her mouth was pink. And it looked like pink lipstick because on...
Look, we get slushies all the time from Sonic stuff. Your tongue might turn, but I mean, like your whole damn face and all that. Hell, and they give you straws up there with those. It ain't like spoons. Whatever, lady.
Her mouth, lower lip, it is smeared. If you look at the picture, she's got lipstick, smeared pink lipstick on the bottom lip. Yes, she does. Absolutely. I have pulled it up. I have showed it. There is smeared lipstick on her face. So, you know, why are you going to put pink lipstick on a child's face?
We've also seen you do a whole bunch of gross shit with Summer's face and image and this and that or two. We also seen you a night or two ago play audio and alter it and lead people with ghost noises in real time. So I don't give a shit what you show anybody. You can't be trusted. You're 6,004% sus. You also have pulled enough bullshit in public. You've had Candace up there being like footprints on places that people kind of body parts this. We've seen what you do, lady. Good lord. Yeah. I ain't done this on a freaking show that I'd be like, oh yeah, trust that.
After swimming, why are you going to put lipstick on a child's face? That don't make no sense. It just doesn't make no sense to me, And I believe she had foundation on her face as well. I can't, I can't prove it. But I bet you 10 to 1 she did. And I'll tell you why I believe she did. Because I think the bruising that we see on her head, the top temples and forehead spreading over into the forehead, really bad. That discoloration. I think that discoloration, was a lot worse. There's something over top of it. There's something trying to cover it up because it should have been way worse than that. It looks like makeup over a black eye. That's what I'm saying. I think that discoloration, was a lot worse. There's something over top of it. There's something trying to cover it up because it should.
There's something. What over him? Doing what?
Way worse than that. I believe she did. Because I think the bruising that we see on her head, the top temples and forehead spreading over into the forehead, really bad. That discoloration. I think that discoloration, was a lot worse. There's something over top of it. There's something trying to cover it up because it should have been way worse than that. It looks.
What do you mean it should have been way worse than that? What the fuck kind of statement is that? In order to have made a statement like that, you'd have to know something happened to her very specifically and to know what damage should be or should not be in order to make a statement like it should have been a lot worse than it. It's almost like when PG's out here going, oh, the scream came an hour or two soon. Too soon what? No, the scream happened when the scream happened, bitch. See, it's shit like this. Like, I swear some days this bitch talks like she's the one that did something fucking summer. Like, my god. And then if you combine that with how she continually calls Summer it gets a little concerning, doesn't it? But either way, this crazy heifer, in order to say something like
makeup over a black discoloration. I think that discoloration, was a lot worse. There's something over top of it. There's something trying to cover it up because it should have been way worse than that.
Somebody please explain that. How can she say what should or shouldn't have been, or how something should have been worse than? If she was not witness to or privy to knowledge that would say what happened to Summer, then how could she say bruising or discoloration should have been worse than? Do you understand what I'm saying here? The bitch said it out of her own mouth. And unless she's one responsible as a witness to something, then how in the fuck could she make that? It should have been a lot worse than it was. What was? What the fuck are you talking about? Homie, what the fuck? She said it. Satan said it.
It looks like makeup over a black eye. That's what I'm saying. And I think we all know what that looks like. The shiner, you just can't cover it up. It's still.
This is how you know this bitch is geriatric. She doesn't understand the type of makeup available. But anyway, yeah, no, I don't think in any way is Summer up makeup on, nor would that be anything that Candace or Grandis would carry about. And I don't think I ever really seen Candace makeup or Candace sing right. Not that I really recall. I don't ever remember even really seeing Slimmer being able to dress up. You can see how Candace feels about makeup. She calls it war paint. And I wasn't a fan either, so, and I'm sure all the bullshit plays into that, not certain that Summer was ever really able to play with makeup like that either. Do you know what I mean? I'm just so anyway.
You know, running through the black eye kind of still runs through the makeup. Green Eye says,
Boy, that one's getting around, Dan. That motherfucker been, well, one of the 4,000 motherfuckers fucking around there in one of the greenhouse accounts been everywhere today. I was there for another panel. There's greenhouse. Want me unblocked? Bitch, better go fuck to hell somewhere. And then, you know, if you know the greenhouse thing and how it relates back to PG and crew and one of the inserters and fucking with Candace Dawn, Andy, everybody else, and all of the things, and now comes Flame McDonough and this and that and the other through the line, and Don B and everybody else. Well, then you've been hearing if you know that that thing is definitely a full-on predator of children, at least one of those speaking as Green Eyes, not the voice for, which is Jacobs, but the other ones behind the several accounts for Green Eyes, Hatter, not to be confused with the Renfro Hatter, but other Hatters and Lone Wolf accounts. Well, you've been here a while, eh? Anyway, well, and how Green Eyes is spelled buddy, at least one of those accounts. Crystal, carrying on, who I hear is still busy over there, pretend arguing with accounts she or people near her are creating that are only hours or barely days old accounts. And then she's posting her cease on another channel is bad or terrible. It's some of the goofiest shit I've ever seen in order to make herself look that batshit for some reason. Can't imagine why she would be needing to look at crazy online or law enforcement or lawyers, courts, or maybe looking at, I don't know, or her vague fuckery hidden in between it. Carrying on.
Andy Bernard says it doesn't involve whatever happened. What doesn't involve? What doesn't involve what happened? What doesn't involve what happened? What doesn't involve? What doesn't involve what happened? What doesn't ever happened?
I mean, why you gonna keep going into that motherfucking Hobags channel? Hint winking at Don B and everybody else. How you gonna go into this bitch's channel all the damn time and be like cool with her? But I guess that depends on if that's a real Andy B account or whether it's bullshit or an AB or just shit. I ain't going for a chicken out.
Andy Bernard says it doesn't involve whatever happened.
I don't know. That one popped up and said it doesn't involve whatever happened. I don't care. I'm not looking at the chat to figure it out either. I don't give a fuck.
What doesn't involve? What doesn't involve what happened? What doesn't involve what happened? And then we got somebody named Green Eyes in here saying that she gets, I get Morrison in my readings. You do not have to believe in my readings.
Now Green Eyes does readings? You know what? Y'all do you. And she said we got somebody named Green Eyes here. Bitch, you know goddamn good and well. So does Monster and what role it played the General Hyman, Benny Arrest, and in his text, man. Oh, come on. And the Green Eyes dropped the number for Andy in your chat first. You call. I ain't dealing with y'all now. Y'all stupid. Y'all want to be stupid, act stupid. Question is the Andy account going to act stupid with y'all? Probably. Let's carry on.
You just got to still toe boot in the ass out of PG's chat on Green Eyes. I don't believe in your readings, and I don't believe in the shit you do, and we don't mess with that stuff here. I'm sorry. You know, this is no, actually, I'm not sorry. But, you know, bottom line is we don't mess with woo-woo shit here. We believe in God Almighty. We believe in Jesus Christ. We believe in the Holy Spirit. We believe in angels that watch over us. We don't.
Bitch, you are the woo-woo shit over there. You are the woo-woo. You is the woo-woo. You is the woo-woo. You a full woo-woo train. You running woo-woo on other motherfuckers and their poor little squishy brain. You stop that woo-woo shit over there, Satan.
Woo-woo stuff. We don't believe in readings. You play with that stuff, you're going to Hades. I'm going to tell you that right now. You better read the Bible. And it tells me to stay the hell away from people like you. And that's what I plan on doing. And I'm going to keep my chat away from you, too. I'm going to keep my chat away from you as well when they're in here. When they're on this channel, they will be away from you. I can't protect my chat in every other channel, but I will protect them here from that kind of disgustingness. Absolutely not. We believe in God and we want God here, and God can't be here. We got woo-wooers in the chat running around, right? Talking about readings. Your readings don't come from God and they don't come from Jesus Christ.
Just every time you think it can't get stupider, it does. Fucking does.
From somewhere we want nothing to do with.
Wait, is this Ryan's wife? Ryan? His Jen over here pretending to be a green eyes. Green eyes just suddenly in all the years is now doing readings about like your wife pulled magical imaginary spirits out of her ass by like live number 3. What the fuck? Oh god, I could leave it right there for the night and it would be fucking fantastic. I needed a good laugh. I'm sure it's going to turn into rage, especially once we get to the territory where she figures out I'm over here doing this.
You might want to think about stopping that reading and finding the Lord. That's what I'm talking about right there. But you just got put out of here.
I guess both of you out there searching for the Lord together, huh? You can pretend you got it, you goddamn devil. And Green Eyes all about the Lord. Praise Jesus. Whatever. Isn't that special? Look for them together. Y'all be lost for like 40 years wandering around the goddamn desert.
That shit. Absolutely not. The devil's a fucking liar. The devil's a liar. And I'm going to tell you something. You really think the devil's going to give you all the answers with your readings? That's insane. That, all you're going to get is a bunch of bad juju on your ass, where you're trying to run from it and you ain't going to be able to, right? You're going to have shit haunting your ass up. That's weird. Yeah.
Her turns the phrase haunting your ass up, posting your ass up. She's got a problem. And she's all about them butt cheeks. We know if she can mention asses or butts. Like, I'm going to start doing a count in any of these damn live streams. I'm going to get a little counter and see how many times she says ass or butt. Or talks about somebody's butt. She has a problem. Something about her she just can't get out. She's obsessed.
Getting here, you got that right. You got to go. But anyway, I done comparisons for you guys with Andy. Everybody was asking, please, DJ, could you do comparisons with Andy, out in the woods?
Oh, God, that's what this is about. That's why you've called Andy over. It's why he's there in the first few minutes. Shit, one team let the other. Oh, boy. And then they were like, Andy, Fairground's going to do dirty work. We're going to compare whatever Jody C said to you, and we're going to be like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God, and he's all there for it with the oh, no. Let's do it.
And it was Andy, out in the woods, and so forth and so on. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about what I came in here to talk about, because
When is Andy out in the woods? What? Hold on.
I came in here to out in the woods. Everybody's hearing that it was Andy, out in the woods. TG, could you do comparisons with Andy, out in the woods? Everybody's hearing that it was Andy, out in the woods.
What do you mean, can you do comparisons with Andy out in the woods? I thought she was gearing for the cemetery or something. But I mean, can you do comparisons with Andy out in the woods? What the hell does that even mean, comparisons with Andy out in the woods? Do I care? No.
And so on. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about what I came in here to talk about, because a lot of people say, I came in here to hear about Jody Sue and what Jody Sue done, what's in your title. So I'm going to...
What I did what? Huh? Hold on.
Handle the title tonight. I'm going to handle so forth and so on. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about what I came in here to talk about, because a lot of people say, I came in here to hear about Jody Sue and what Jody Sue done, what's in your title. So I'm going to handle the title tonight. I'm going to handle the title first. And in the title,
Oh, it's a heavyweight fight. I don't know. We would survive it. She'll get to the point. I don't know how far in. It's fine. Oh, we're gonna get to the title. Oh boy.
I let you guys know that, Jody Sue was talking about that cemetery, right? She was talking about, you bet yourself she was. Now, I want to go back to the beginning of, June 15th, 2021. I want to go to the morning, okay, of June 15th, 2021. Matter of fact, if you'd like to, we could go back to the 14th when Don Wells changed up vehicles and went to work and fired his coworker in order to blame June the 15th on, right? And he's going to blame it all on Dudley come the 15th. So this shit was definitely pre-planned, in my opinion. So, you got these three people here at the top, Donald, Candace, and Grandis. They go shave this baby's head completely bald. That is a hard picture to look at because you cannot believe someone would do a little girl like this. They have her dancing in front of a for-sale girl. After they have her dancing in front of a for-sale girl, they take her, and she looks sedated right here in this picture. You see Don Wells holding her, and she's passed out. Well, yeah, they take her out, they put her in the vehicle, him and Candace, and they drive.
That picture wasn't even taken that day, PG. That's been established and proven. And she does not in any way look sedated. Hell, far. You goddamn hellmouth Satan ass bitch. You fucking propaganda pushing wannabe bullshit cult leader. Shut up.
Dudley's wondering where the hell did they go with this little girl who is asleep. The boys were hollering, where are you taking Sissy? Where are you taking Sissy? But they wouldn't answer. They just got in the vehicle and they left. And even Dudley's like, why are you taking that kid? It's asleep. Why ain't you taking the kids that are awake and let old grandma watch the one that isn't?
I'm sorry, did you just call Summer it again, PG?
They didn't do that. And she's passed out. Well, yeah, they take her out.
Hold on. Let's listen to her lie to you in the name of the Lord. And little Summer Wells,
in the vehicle or picture to look at because from the 15th on, right? And he's going to blame it all on Dudley come the 15th. So this shit was definitely pre-planned, in my opinion.
And didn't she just say she was going to get to the damn title? No, she takes a fucking left Albuquerque somewhere.
So, you got these three people here at the top, Donald, Candace, and Grandis. They go shave this baby's head completely bald. That is a hard picture to look at because you cannot believe someone would do a little girl like this. They have her dancing in front of a for-sale barrel. After they have her dancing in front of a for-sale barrel, they take her, and she looks sedated right here in this picture. You see Don Wells holding her, and she's passed out. Well, yeah, they take her out. They put her in the vehicle, him and Candace, and they drive off somewhere. Dudley's wondering where the hell did they go with this little girl who is asleep. The boys were hollering, where are you taking Sissy? Where are you taking Sissy? But they wouldn't answer. They just got in the vehicle and they left. And even Dudley's like, why are you taking that kid? It's asleep. Why ain't you taking the kids that are awake and let old grandma?
Yeah, she just called Summer it again.
The one that isn't. They wondering where the hell did they?
She can remember her name perfectly when she wants you to hit like or tithe or whatever, but now Summer has been rendered to an it status for PG.
This little girl who is completely bald. That is a hard picture to look at because you cannot believe someone would do a little girl like this. They have her dancing in front of a for-sale barrel. After they have her dancing in front of a for-sale,
which already had that written on it. It was bought from place 10 on the Parkway, and that was written on those barrels to advertise the others, and it was the last left. Many of us have proof of that as we were cloud chasing and stuff throughout the weeks and months. Those were for sale, but you carry on with your bullshittery.
Girl, they take her, and she looks sedated right here in this picture. You see Don Wells holding her, and she's passed out. Well, yeah, they take her out. They put her in the vehicle, him and Candace, and they drive off somewhere. Dudley's wondering where the hell did they go with this little girl who is asleep. The boys were hollering, where are you taking Sissy? Where are you taking Sissy? But they wouldn't answer. They just got in the vehicle and they left. And even Dudley's like, why are you taking that kid? It's asleep. Why ain't you taking the kids that are awake and let old grandma watch the one that isn't? But they didn't do that. And that made Dudley suspicious. He's like, where are they taking this?
Why don't you let old Grandis watch the one that But if you're taking a child somewhere, what do you mean let her watch the one that ain't? Because obviously they were taking the Summer somewhere, and then See, your shit don't make no sense. You just spew out whatever. You don't even care if it makes sense in real time at all. Because that makes no sense at all. And not only that, you just said that Dawn did all this to fire Dudley and blame it on him. Therefore, Dudley wouldn't have been frenzies with him or at the house in this car. Now, would he, PG? And then let's, oh my god. And and then it also wasn't storming on the 15th. So therefore, she would have been dancing in the rain, barrels, and oh my god, we've all established that picture was not taken on the 15th either. Holy shit. And that Dudley was working on a car on, so I just, wow. And it's, how do y'all listen to this woman? I'm gonna rewind so y'all can get the totality of that, because it's just nonsensical. It doesn't even add up in real time. In the least.
This kid, Darcy, and they went back to the 14th when Don Wells changed up vehicles and went to work and fired his co-worker in order to blame June the 15th on, right?
Okay, so it was 14. He fired him. But then
he's going to blame it all on Dudley come the 15th. So this shit was definitely pre-planned, in my opinion. So, you got these three people here at the top, Donald, Candace, and Grandis. They go shave this baby's head completely bald. That is a hard picture to look at because you cannot believe someone would do a little girl like this. They have her dancing in front of a 4-cell barrel. After they have her dancing in front of a 4-cell barrel, they take her and she looks sedated right here in this picture. You see Don Wells holding her and she's passed out. Well, yeah, they take her out. They put her in the vehicle, him and Candace, and they drive off somewhere. Dudley's wondering where the hell did they go with this little girl who is asleep. The boys were hollering, "Where are you taking Sissy? Where are you taking Sissy?" But they wouldn't answer. They just got in the vehicle and they left. And even Dudley's like, why are you taking that kid? It's asleep. Why ain't you taking the kids that are awake and let old grandma watch the one that isn't? But they didn't do that. And that made Dudley suspicious. He's like, where are they taking this kid that's knocked out, on Don's shoulder? Where are they taking this kid at? But they left with her. And, nobody knows where they went. This is 18 days. 18 days.
Okay, now she's saying 18 days. Oh, dear God. Remember, she's done this quite a few times and made it like it's right there at. And she got called out for how half of this shit Dudley didn't even say all these things. I mean, just.
Summer came up missing. They took her off somewhere. 18 days. Okay? Well, and 18 days later, Summer's completely missing. Don Wells says in this picture right here that he was crying because he knew real soon Summer was going to be gone. And she was. On June 15, 2021, 18 days later, you guys. 18 days. That, that's like 2 weeks. She's gone. Okay.
She's real bad at math, that one.
And I'm going to tell you something. These mother freakers, from the time they cut that baby's hair, they done started plotting against her. They done started to plot against her. That's in my opinion. That's how I feel. That's what I think, and I will keep.
Okay, so if she said this resides on Dawn, Candace, and Grandis, then why in the fuck is this title about me? Why is this whole live stream gonna be about everything except that? weird how they have a tendency to do that around here, right? Including this one. Be like, most reside on Candace, Grandis, Dawn, etc. But hey, let's then spend 3 hours. Look here, look there, content, JSB, blah blah, Andy, Marlena, Fred, the dead horse, the fucking cow, 19,000 people they've drugged in that aren't even, yeah, okay. Makes perfect sense to me, I guess.
You know. On June 15, 2021, Grandis and Candace, they use Grandis's need to go into Kingsport, Tennessee and pick up this 15-year-old kid. As I said, they gave illegal substances to, Twisted Tea for one.
They used Candace Senior's knee to pick up the kid.
He drank it. Like I said, the video camera came on. He looked at Grandis and Candace. They use Grandis's need to go into Kingsport, Tennessee and pick up this 15-year-old kid. As I said, they gave illegal substances to, Twisted Tea for one. He drank it.
Well, they're not legal substances. They're perfectly legal substance. Apparently, you can buy them at the store. I mean, you do, but also, I don't know where they're located, allegedly, but just saying, like, not the give them to a minor is legal, but
like I said, the video camera came on. He looked at it like, what the F you doing? Right? I knew something wasn't right then. Why would he? June 15, 2021, Grandis and Candace, they use Grandis's need to go into Kingsport, Tennessee and pick up this 15-year-old kid. As I said, they gave illegal substances to, Twisted Tea for one. He drank it. Like I said, the video came.
He drank it? He drank it. She's fucking brilliant, you know. She's a brilliant bitch, as she calls herself. Fucking brilliant. He drank it.
Came on, he looked at it like, what the F you doing? Right? I knew something wasn't right then. Why would he care if a video camera comes on if they don't plan on doing anything, anything sinister? Why would they care if they're not doing nothing that they don't want to be seen? As he goes out into the water, the camera goes off. Right? And out of his own...
Those were TikToks, right? At that time, TikToks were like 10 or 12 or 30 seconds or something. They were shorts. That platform had, you know what? Granny Devil.
He says Summer was in that vehicle, all wet on a pillow, laying against the driver's side door. He says they moved them boxes to the back of the trunk. The milk was supposed to even be in the back of the trunk at one point. He was talking.
I don't know if she's saying the back of the truck, or if she's saying the back of the trunk, because there is a distinctive N in there. Hopefully she understands truck bed and trunk are two things, and she probably did.
And then he says, oh no, he had it, and then he put it in the middle. Well, if he put it in the middle, it would have been between him and Summer, which puts him on the passenger side, back passenger side of Grandis. That's how he got out. Now I'm going to tell you, when they got themselves to Allison's house, I believe.
Didn't you already say some of this or something? Yeah.
Where Summer was dressed, I believe that's where pink lipstick was stuck on her face. That's where I believe some makeup, probably some
where lipstick was stuck on her face. You talk like you have very real disdain for makeup or women who wear it, or the idea of it. Stuck on her face. Hmm. Interesting way to talk about it, PG.
Was put on her face. Even Allison was like, "Oh, I seen Summer on my porch and she told me I'm home." That's Allison's way of telling you Summer's no longer with us. And Allison was trying to convince Chris M that Summer was not alive, not alive on those milk jugs. But Chris, all of a sudden, Chris throws Hunter in the middle of it. Throws Hunter in the middle of it. And then she backs out like, no, I think it's a 10. She was a lot, because she wants to save her boy. She wants to save her boy, and I can't blame nobody for that. I mean, somebody took your 15-year-old son off somewhere and had him do something super sinister to a 5-year-old child. I mean, and you know whose fault it is, but
wait, what? What did you just put off on 8?
It ain't going to. Chris throws Hunter in the middle of it. Throws Hunter in the middle of it. And then she backs out like, no, I think it's a 10. She was a lot, because she wants to save her boy. She wants to save her boy, and I can't blame nobody for that. I mean, somebody took your 15-year-old son off somewhere and had him do something super sinister to a 5-year-old child. I mean,
Oh my god.
you know whose fault it is, but the court ain't going to see it that way, right? The court ain't going to see it that way. Then you're going to try your best. You're going to try your best to protect your 15-year-old boy because this lousy person that you.
Swear to God, some days it had to be this one talking in his green eyes. And the way she talked about that little one in the hotel a few weeks back, bro. There's only so many minds and mouths and those that can speak so easily. Just so many similarities with the sick motherfucker. That was one of the green eyes. And she does love trying to trigger to elicit info and responses. It's her favorite thing to do on the channel too, every time she's on it. Or to think for herself as a master of that, and to draw people over to fake this or fake that, or yell one of us or fake accounts. Or to make people think she's got it, and it's something very similar, and tactics Green Eyes used as well, the worst ones. And the speaking and writing of that one, and how sick and perverted and disgusting they were. There's quite a few similarities between that and PG. Who was also at the same periods acting as the script writer for the Wells and with BK and crew and working both sides, we'll say. Right? Yep. Anyway, Karen.
Head your son up or your daughter up to do something so sinister, and you know that your child's going to go down for something that these adult people well, have been plotting and ploying on and carried out on this day.
What the fuck is plotting and ploying? A ploy is one thing. PG, a plot's another, and I've never heard it said that I plotting and ploying. You know what a ploy? It's a weird drop, PG.
So, I can see where Allison was coming from. Absolutely. As much as we like to sit and say, nah, I would turn my son in and I'd turn my daughter in and I would do this and I'm going to tell you something. Man, I'm going to tell you, you can talk all you want until you're in this situation. You can talk.
No. No. Real people really would do that. I hope most of you, I mean, you love your kids and all this there, but what if it come down to something terrible or they did something, you wouldn't fucking protect me. You'd be like, no, I'll walk you into wherever, I'll be with you, whatever, but no protection here, and you need to turn yourself in. No, and that, it just, no, but I'll carry on.
You want, say all these things, but you know what? Wait till you're in the situation. Because it's a whole different ball game when it's you.
Wait till you're in this situation. She talks like she's been there with one of her adult sons. And yeah, they are. You been there before, PG? I'll bet since that one has that neutral, semi-strange Midwestern bend of the pen voice. Just a guess. But then again, that could be anybody really hanging out in your flop house first. That you're saying was somewhere, and he was saying, "Oh, she ran out to get the young ones something to eat real quick before she gets on you live." Ziggy, she'll be back in a minute. That was clearly an adult male, Prayer Garden, very adult, and not with the same accent you hold. Just like the other one at a certain time, that's not the same voice as that one, or to be misconstrued with the one you tried to say was Benny Keys that time, which was clearly not Benny. But that was why you're covering up for Dawn 2 in real time, and I guess you thought nobody caught that. Right. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's carry on.
A whole different ball game. Some parents might turn their kid in, but there's a hell of a lot that won't. There's a hell of a lot that will not. They're going to protect their kid at all costs because that's their child. That's their child, and their child has a life ahead of it, and that life is going to be destroyed.
Why does this woman always talk about children like she is an alien and she's never experienced childbirth or motherhood? Does anybody understand that? And if she has, it's disturbing, even more so that she speaks this way. I mean, I've said that for years. I still maintain it. Like
by some old goats like Candace and Grandis, who used that child to do something sinister and evil.
Why are you making up? See what I'm saying? It's how she's similar to Grina, as one of the characters. Just make up this gross shit and put it out there about children and these salacious things to do with. And nobody should be speaking like, this one's a fucking predator, dude. And if you can't see a predator when you see one and you're tithing to it like it's Jesus instead of Lucifer, you need to go get some holy water.
The way the court of law sees it. the court of law sees, that this child is an individual. This child was there. This child, went along with this stuff, did whatever these people wanted, and that child's going to be held responsible for its part in its actions in such a crime.
It's part. She has to separate from children she didn't like. I don't know. She's gross. She's a goddamn predator. She predates one of y'all in the world. But then, like, to be able to think and spew the shit out of her mouth she does about children and scenarios and usually oriented with some sort of sexual stuff, like, in their bit, like, she is fucking gross.
That's the way our law system works. And we all know it. We all know it. So,
PG, quick. Name all the branches of government and how they work. Bet she can't.
Of course they're going to tell him to keep his mouth shut. Of course they're going to tell him, if you don't, you're going to end up, you're going to end up doing a lot of years, over something that these two old people, swindled you into doing, and they got you, they got you some illegal substances to.
See, she says it resides on Candace Dawn. Then she goes off in this scenario, swears she's getting to the title where I'm mentioned, and that ain't what happened. She's off in the storybook la la land of grossness that doesn't need to be said, told, made up. It doesn't even need to be a thing. But she's making up a thing, just have things to speak on to get people riled up, and it's all child, and it puts stuff out there on people that don't, like, y'all sit and listen to this shit every night. Except for a Sebit that she allegedly has, but even her mom's had to remind her that she has. Yeah. That she only started having when she, wanted to be like, hey, Dawn. But she speaks like a brimstone and fire old school Baptist.
Alter your mind before you done it, So I can see where they're coming from.
No. No.
And I can see why Hunter would be afraid. I see why he's.
Now, mind you, when all this first began, she was very much like, it's fine that Dawn touched his 5-year-old sister, and, well, it's her fault, Jess Horton, blah, blah, and Marion, blah, blah, and all the children he's talking weird about, that's fine, too, and then she cried. Now they vanished most of the evidence of that, what she did back in the day, and into oblivion. You'll hear a different tale of it now, but, oh yeah, she's all fine with the touchy-feely on children when it suits her. She condones it, covers up for it, shoos it away, makes it even 5-year-olds alts, or, it's just fine. Dawn did it, it's fine. Oh, Dawn did it, sister, it's fine. It's pretty gross. And everybody always leaves out to their others besides them, but sure, lady. And she said much worse throughout the years. Much worse.
Like he came out and said, do I have to live with this the rest of my life? And am I just.
Like, I literally heard this lady one time lamenting over the fact that she was not the one Dawn was beating the shit out of. She was totally in jelly beans. Well, too bad Dawn ain't over beating me. It was gross, man.
To live with it? Yes. If you don't want to go to prison, yes, you will have to live with it. And that's what Allison told him. And
there she goes. She's just saying things. She has no way of knowing. No way of it, But she's saying it like it's fact and truth. and people believe it. Like she has some, like, man, is she Fred of everywhere? Somehow everywhere and nowhere simultaneously? It's what she's always done throughout the years, dude. She hears little pieces, she picks them up like a goddamn crow, a shiny this, shiny that, and then she drops them, and she's suddenly becomes the one that's seen, witnessed, tired, blah blah blah. Or she pretends like she was everywhere around everyone, and like and people listen to her say this. Just like a few minutes ago, and she was saying, "Oh, this is what happened when law enforcement talked to Jody Sue or Andy, whoever." Bullshit, dude. And the other day, I think she was saying how Ellie had told her this, that, and the other. One of us had said, "That ain't how this works." Y'all know it ain't. But people really listen to this shit.
Now, at the time, at that particular time, I think that, Hunter could have been offered a deal. I think that he could have been offered, um, he could have been offered clemency, meaning,
I'm sorry, the fuck did you just say?
at that particular time, I think that, Hunter could have been offered a deal. I think that he could have been offered, um, he could have been offered clemency, meaning,
Did she just say he could have been offered clemency? I had to mishear though. I I thought she was going for clemency, but that's also not the correct thing. But did she just say Hennessy? Did she get clemency and Hennessy mixed up? I don't know, and I'm not trying to lead y'all to ghost noise territory. What the fuck did this bitch just say though?
or immunity. He could have been offered immunity. Clemency's
Immunity?
try two cases differently, and they ain't allowed to do that. But
What did you just say, you brilliant? Hold on. One thing at a time. We're gonna reverse this shit show up. Hold on.
at particular time, I think that, Hunter could have been offered a deal. I think that he could have been offered, he could have been offered clemency, meaning
I don't know. She either said Hennessy or clemency, but it took her brilliant ass fucking brain a minute and it shut down on her and she still didn't get it right.
or immunity. He could have been offered immunity. Clemency's when they try two cases differently, and they ain't allowed to do that. But he could have been offered clemency, meaning or immunity. He could have been offered immunity. Clemency's when they try two cases differently, and they ain't allowed to do that. But
clemency is not when they try to do two cases and they. differently, and they're not allowed to do that. Oh my god. She really is fucking stupid. Ah, ah, ah. Oh my god. Save us, dear Lord, says the atheist. Like, holy shit. This bitch coming praying to Jesus, save us from her fucking stupidity. Her ignorant ass. I mean, y'all heard it here first, folks. PG thinks clemency is when they. You know what? I'll just let her say it again. You, you be the judge, though. Jesus talks about being judgy.
Often he could have been offered clemency, meaning, or immunity. He could have been offered immunity. Clemency is when they try two cases differently, and they ain't allowed to do that. But so
Clemency refers to mercy or leniency, particularly in a legal context, such as when a judge or governor reduces a punishment or grants a pardon. It's generally something given after conviction. It's also an act of grace or forgiveness. So no wonder she has no goddamn clue what clemency means. She would probably like some, though, for her goddamned soul. And yes, I separated that. Her goddamned soul. I'm sorry, her goddamned souled. Because she does love, for some reason, the slippage of the tongue. Her soul always comes out as sold. Look, we'll even pronounce it for you.
Clemency. Clemency. Clemency.
Grace or forgiveness after an act of PG. Not a deal made prior to. Lord have mercy.
So, he could have got immunity, meaning that he wouldn't have went to jail. He would have been able to be free had he just, worked with law enforcement and told exactly what went down, what happened at the swimming hole, how they propped everything up, how they, how they got him into a fix and all the things. Candace and Grandis would have went to prison. Don Wells would have went to prison. But Hunter probably wouldn't have. He had a bargaining chip at the beginning. I don't know if, I don't think he has that now. I mean, he could have. I don't know, but I doubt it. I think right now, the bargain...
And by the way, I don't know how far we're in. We're in pretty far, and we've yet to see her get to the damn point unless she's run my name in her title, but...
I think the law enforcement's already figured out that Summer wasn't alive on those milk jugs. I think they've done figured that one out because Ronnie Lawson said, ask them why they waited 4.5 hours to call law enforcement. So he put Summer back on the milk jugs, and he put her there unalived.
Wait, wasn't that one of those your buddy Ziggy's bullshit characters that came on? That? I believe it was. Carrying on.
That's just the way it is. That's my opinion. And the thing is, is I don't think Hunter really has a bargaining chip anymore. But I do think that Chad Arnold does. If they exhume that grave and Summer's in there and Chad Arnold knows she's in there.
Damn, you're still trying to make him think you're really getting 400 or 500 watching your bullshit stream. And the rest are running with that. Don B conveniently is going with, oh, this don't look real good. On Chad, look at the 30,000 fake ass bot views on this video, Chad. Hopefully it'll trigger and elicit you over here and drag you in to fight for yourself like we've made all the others do, like Jody Sear, the Proudfoots, or those in other cases, or Leilani, or maybe you'll fall for it too after this many years, Chad. We're good at these responses and doing it in each and every case. These 30,000, 40,000 fake fucking views and chats running open. No, don't look good on you. Better come over here and fix your reputation. Come to us. Hey, we'll get Marlene up here and see if she can't get the job done. And blah, blah, blah. And yeah, okay. Blah, 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 blah. We get the fix. Dear Judge, stick with FBI and LE. Tell them what you know. Stick with them. That's all I can do, Bob. Anyway. I'm glad to see they're still after that. Shit, how many more witnesses and those around Summer's life in case y'all gonna gear for? I mean, I know the pool's dwindling. Is the investment team still paying those bucks? Like, oh wait, yeah, they are. I suppose Iggy and Fred are quiet, and money's still flowing to the little shittiest shit stains. Maybe's running full tilt, and there's don't touch this cards coming out, and bullshit everywhere. Yeah, we know. I'm glad they're still paying you motherfuckers for getting up to motherfuckering. And for Ziggy and Fred Silence as they fuck around with all of you in the background and do all the things everybody's been doing for years. Yeah, alright. Y'all say so. But it's a really, like, I just trying hard to, for somebody in some reason, just keep trying to acquire all those you know of or think you can get your hands on by any and all means necessary around Summer in her case. Almost like y'all are trying to finish everything out so that everything's decimated on purpose and tampered with and I mean, like, almost like, hey, you know, y'all up to no good. Talk about sinister. Yeah, fucking devils.
Well, he's going to prison. He's going to prison for a long time. Over 10 years. Way over 10 years. So he's going, because they're going to give them max. They're going to make an example out of these people.
He's going to go to prison for 10 years. They're going to give him max. They're going to make an example. 10 years ain't max for shit or for doing anything harming a child, like, or kidnapping, like, yeah? Boy, are you trying to work on Chad by going 10 years? Are you serious? You think it? And once again, don't even get me started on how y'all can go a couple videos back. See for yourselves what kind of nonsense they've been feeding y'all out about this grave thing. You can base that on real journalists, real law enforcement images of the real advanced days and dates, and not have to have those like this one or Don B's or anybody else tell you about a damn grave or how Summer could be in it or buried or how Chad's a grave digger, how this, that, and the other. You know, none of that. You can just be like, wait a minute, and 2 pictures and a Bobo real journalist video, and you know, we can figure out in an obit and the dates that, yeah, not possible, right? And what kind of bullshit you're being led on by these fucking tragedy pimps. And, you know, the real sources of information are out there, folks. Literally, the first 30 seconds of that one video I did 3 or 4 back has it in there. To where you could, the links are in the description, everything. In like a minute and a half, you can be well informed enough to know that what PG or Don B or them are feeding you around this group shit's just that. Okay? No tragedy pimps, no YouTube looking, no having to figure out which creator might have this there. It's all there. Y'all can do it in fucking 5 seconds on your own. And find credible sources to show what kind of ride all these people, including PG, and them are taking on lately.
So, because Tennessee is fed up. They're fed up with, all of these criminals getting away with stuff. So if they was to exhume that grave and that baby's in there, Chad Arnold would be looking at a good 10 years or more, probably way more. Because, 10 years, that's just for, abusing an online person like that. And then they're going to attack all kinds of other stuff, his accessory to the crime, and they're going to attack on a whole lot more. So he, like his days are done. I mean, he's going to be a super old man before he sees daylight again, right? And but right now he could get clemency. He could not I don't know why I keep talking about clemency. He could get immunity.
I think you're a little worried about some shit in Lincoln lately, PG. Would you like some clemency? Are you worried about your doors at some point flying in? Right? Are you worried about deals? Were you worried about a little grace and stuff for the devil after all the devilry you've done? Clemency, eh, PG? Mercy?
Which means he won't spend a day in jail. Not one day. So I'm going to tell you, these people's going to need some clemency. They need to do their homework on cases like this and see how they were tried so that they can, so they won't get tried any different. They better hope somebody got away with some shit. Because if nobody did, they're not going to get away with it either. That's how a lot of people get out of jail. They go to the library, prison library, and they get into the law books and stuff.
Or they just hire PG early on, or make buddies, or whatever. Them sick females that enjoys doing it. And they get to write scripts and go before and create chaos for years. And hunt down anyone and everyone around an active and ongoing investigation to keep tampering with, fucking with, putting out all kinds of crazy garbage on to seed doubt and to taint everything around a case with shit. You can get waste tragic bitches for free because they like riding the dicks of fucking monsters, and they like clout, and they like not digging and change other couch cushions. They come on for free, but eventually they like that tithe and dishing, and they really start worrying about maybe having to have clemency. And they probably get knocks on their doors for like, no, I just said that for YouTube, officer. Slam! I don't know. She needs to quit projecting on the rest of her bills and leaking her little ass off.
And they actually learn about the laws, and then they either represent themselves or they get someone to represent them, and they get out because if they can find a case that was tried differently with less sentencing and everything than theirs, the same type of case, only tried differently, then sometimes they can use that case and to get the same amount of time and everything, and sometimes out of prison. So,
it's not really how I do that. Lots of people have the same crime and are sentenced differently, and just because you can find this ain't a like Walmart will match the prices shit, PG. You're an ignorant bitch.
That's people who are smart and and really try to get educated and get themselves out of the doghouse, as you could say. But at the beginning, June 15, 2021, this is what happened.
Out of the doghouse is where you are when you buy your wife or girlfriend like a goddamn vacuum cleaner for her birthday. Alright? That's the doghouse. Prison is prison, homie. Um, that's up to you choosing words there. Okay, no.
In the morning. This is the morning that they spent inside of Kingsport, Tennessee. And there is Summer. That's how the back seat looked at the bottom right there. Hunter on one side, Summer on the other. Summer had a pillow underneath her because she was in a bathing suit wet against that door. She was not dressed in these clothes until after they went into Allison's place and got her dressed. That's my opinion, and I bet you I'm right. Hunter got out of that passenger side door over there and walked around, ran up in that damn house. That's what he did. He ran up in that damn house, shaking and rocking and rolling.
Oh, God. Your grandma goes that shaking and rock and rolling. Y'all better not move your hips and your poodle skirts. Grandma feels some type of satanic way about you and probably be all like Carrie's mom on your ass, threw you in a closet somewhere.
Everything else, right?
You better not get up to that Elvis shit.
Because he had to sit there in that back seat and look at that child against that door through Walgreens, through Sonic's, at the grocery store by himself, because even Grandis fled the car. He had to sit there by himself and, and then all the way to his house. I'm pretty sure for a 15-year-old kid, that would have been hard to sit next to an online person all the way through all of this. If you ask me, I think it would have been very hard. And of course, he's going to be shit.
You just said he was sitting by himself. Now it's this. Why are you always over here writing this nonsensical book shit that only makes sense? While doing it to real people, their lives, reputations, and whatever. Usually with one of our names in the title, while you speak about none has nothing to do with us, then you're always like, Candace Grandis non-responsible. But here, let's go on for 4 hours, tithing to Jesus and Summer Wells. And then you get to storybook it, except with real lives and real people and real everything. What the fuck do we look like you? Just, like, whatever you can do with, like, bitch, go script somebody else.
And, rocking back and forth and almost, freaking losing his mind up in there, Absolutely. That had to be a lot. But they staged her up, as you can see. They put the boxes back in, put the milk in, staged her up on those milk jugs to go back in.
Staged her up, posted up, this, that, and everything goes up. That phrase, the turn,
road because they were afraid the tree trimmers might still be in there, and that's why they wanted to cover that particular window, because that would have been the window towards the side of where the tree trimmers were working, and they wanted to keep her.
Excuse the flying shit fuck out of me. The fuck did you just say? You has-been hotel, you. Hold up.
Middle right there, looking like she was a.
Wait a minute.
As they went into Ben, he would have been, freaking losing his mind up in there, Absolutely. That had to be a lot. But they staged her up, as you can see. They put the boxes back in, put the milk in, staged her up on those milk jugs to go back into Ben Hill Road because they were afraid the tree trimmers might still be in there, and that's why they wanted to cover that particular window, because that would have been the window towards the side of where the tree trimmers were working, and they wanted to keep her in the middle right there, looking like she was asleep as they went into Ben Hill Road. Now they already had it planned who they was going to hand her off.
That window wasn't covered. The windows weren't covered up, and the tree cutters weren't working on the property. Oh my God. They were. You just say whatever you want to, PG. Right? It's what you tell law enforcement when they show up, isn't it? Oh, it's just for YouTube. I just said I was covering up for the wells for YouTube, even you clearly see they wrote the scripts and was helping avoid anybody, being able to use their own words and to read anything or body behaviors, or I was making Candace script timelines of purpose, or lie about things, or tricking people into saying or listening and responding. No, it's just YouTube. That's what all you creators bank on, literally. Uh-huh.
This whole day was planned. They already had it planned, to pick up Hunter, because Hunter was already up. He was waiting to be picked up. And no kid on summer break's going to be up waiting to be picked up that early in the fucking morning. I don't care what anybody says. But he was. This was all planned to a T, way ahead of time, and carried out on June 15th, 2021. That's my opinion. And Candace went,
What the hell is all this? This is like, and I kid you not, my name is in the title line, and 3 other people images are in the whatever.
to Hunter's house on a couple occasions. And I even heard where Hunter said that Candace came back to get something. That came out of his mouth, that she showed up to get something. When he went to her phone, she showed up to get something. I think that get something was Summer's bathing suit that they had took off of her and the stuff they had took off of her. I think Allison wore.
Bro, I think law enforcement would have went and collected that. Had it been there, or had it not been present at 110, that night, they'd be like, where the fuck is it then? And then they would have went and bagged that up. So, I don't, you just make up whatever over there, fairy tale fuck face.
Up and folded it up, and Candace was retrieving it. She was picking it up. And,
Oh, yeah. Those first couple days, I'm sure FBI, Ellie, and such were unaware of her traveling and where to, and that she had contact, or she was picking that. Oh, sure, right. The whole Barney Fife thing that happened. Yeah. Y'all really buy this bullshit? Who watches this shit?
And Candace was running the show. Candace saw Allison as a weak human being, as a weak individual, and she took full damn advantage of it. Let me tell you that now. She wouldn't do that with a lot of people, because a lot of people, Candace only does that with people she feels is weak. It's too bad that Allison wasn't, more feisty, more, you better not mess with me type person.
Bitch, what are you talking about? You fell right in line with them hooks, line, and sinker, and you did dirty work for them nobody around here would have ever done. And me, you creator online, have done it. Whether innocent or guilty, it doesn't matter. You were one of the first on the school to be doing that shit. You explain that. You're the bitch. We've all seen it. You're also these creators, bitch. You got no goddamn backbone. You're a weak bitch. You can't even come out from behind Avatar. You have no balls, no spine, no courage. You're a follower, bitch. You're a bought bitch. You're a paid for bitch. You ain't strong for what you do and how cruel and terrible you are. You're a bought bitch. Somebody on here owns you with that investment team, bitch. You're a terrible bitch. But you're somebody's bitch. Somebody's bitches on YouTube and behind the scenes. And you'll sell your soul out before you have a backbone. screaming on panel that you're giving somebody a steel toe boot. I ain't having a backbone. Pink Moon, did you not come in here last night? You're like, da 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 da, and you've been here like, I don't know, been talking just fine like the last few weeks, right? Have you not, Pink Moon? And then suddenly last night, or this morning, as I speak on Southern things, you redact your messages, right? Wasn't it you? And then you turn rabid, and now you're here going, I felt summer. Really, Pink Moon? And right after PG has possibly ended her life, bitch, who sent you and who you working for? Yeah, okay. Pink Moon, do you want to see your way out on your own? And you are aware that I know who you are, right? Oh, I know what it was. Wasn't it when I mentioned September Virgo today that you did that? And Rockin' Robin? Wasn't that when you did that weird shit earlier in my chat? Pink Moon. And now you're back, and suddenly you're rabid after weeks of pretending to be nicey nice and visiting over here? Yeah, I believe that's you, you worthless fucking bitch. With an agenda in my chat. Watch this, guys. I'm being super mean. Nobody can talk in here. I'm getting rid of a known motherfucker, and that thought I was stupid the whole time, and I'd tolerate forever. Hey, get this. Their hot take is I failed summer. They mad now that I mentioned September and Rockin' and all them this morning in that TV album. They might take notice of that. And now they're back tonight with a vengeance and doing this to me, unlike all the nice facade they put on over the weeks as they visited. Ain't that something? Yes. Wonders will never cease here, will they? Carrying on. Ain't that special?
I think, put it this way. The people I know, Candace wouldn't even step the foot in her damn house. She wouldn't even come around their damn house. Matter of fact, the people I know wouldn't have nothing to do with the likes of Candace Wells. Period. But if she came around trying to force her shit, she wished she didn't. You know? She ain't going to do that shit. Not where I come from. You know?
Oh God, here we go. The imaginary battle of PG and Candace. Let's see what she scripts here.
They don't tolerate overbearing bastards like that. You just don't.
If they'll tolerate this. I'm pretty sure, like, wherever Crossroad Demons congregate, they're pretty cool with anybody. Seventh Circle of Hell, bitch.
You can't put up with these kind of people. These are the kind of people, man, that you got to stand firm and ready with all the time. But
that's right, Joan of Dork. Pick up your swords. The battle of good and evil and bullshit's about to occur. She's about to script write herself into heaven and sainthood. Is she running for fighting for a place in the archdiocese? Oh wait, never mind. She'd never do that because you know how Don and his religion feel about the pointy hats. And by that I mean they're cool with the eye holes we ride in the middle of the night, burn crosses, but they don't like the Catholics with the Pope hats. Anyway, I carried on.
And didn't do it. So Allison, got took advantage of. Her children got took advantage of. There's a whole lot of shit. I ain't got a lot of time tonight to go over all the stuff that went on, with Allison and Allison's family.
Why not? It's not the Sabbath. You usually have 4 or 5 hours to dedicate to your fuckery. What's up? Short night? You seem a little toasted anyway. You definitely have cigs, so you're good. No couch cushion digging? I don't know.
I'm going to tell you, Candace and Don Wells had their kids up there, and I got a lot more insight. I got a lot more insight than just, this little bit here. I mean, there was some real shit going on with Allison's children and the Wells. Trust him.
She got a lot more insight than just this little bit here. Than just what little bit here? No, this is insight. This is you bullshitting people into oblivion with your made up tale. It don't even make no sense. Just whatever you want to throw out there. And it's the same garbage you've thrown out there a million times, many different ways. Just have what the hell are you talking about? You've got a lot more insight than that. And then didn't she start off with all this was fact based, but none of it actually what it didn't hell far.
Me a whole lot. Anyway,
Well,
this is the second half. After you see the video of the milk jug right here, right there, that's right there.
goddamn, look y'all, look how many of us she has in this goddamn picture. Fuck. Like, and look, there is really a horse in there. Oh, Mama PG, did you look at that picture? Look, she really has the horse in there. Wanna look at the horse? A horse is a horse, of course, of course. I still don't know who that fucking fella is that they're saying. Look, there's a grave. Something that Candace them finally did for summer. We're not sure about that. Candace not like me with my head down, like God bless. Andy, Summer over here, like going to church, she always does gross stuff. Man, is there anybody who did not include in this photo? Well, I mean, there is. But Lord! Collage art of a con. You're gonna trust Seraphina thing, right? Rolling Hills. If I put 906 people in my thumbnail every night, and at least 5 names, and then I talk about everybody through the stream, one of them's bound to eventually, maybe possibly be guilty, and then I'll be, I told you so. Is that it? Is that the woo woo shit you're pulling over?
3.2 miles away from Ben Hill Road, 110 Ben Hill Road. Right there on the milk jugs. That's when this video was taken. After you see the video of the milk jug right here, right there, that's right there, 3.2 miles away from Ben Hill Road, 110 Ben Hill Road. Right there on the milk jugs. That's when this video was taken. This is after she was dressed up. This is after, they put makeup Anyway, this is the second half. After you see the video of the milk jug right here, right there, that's right there, 3.2 miles away from Ben Hill Road, 110 Ben Hill Road.
Wrong again, PG. It's almost 5 miles.
Right there on the milk jugs. That's when this video was taken. This is after she was dressed up. This is after, they put makeup on her. And I'm telling you, there is lipstick on this child's. Okay, this is the second half.
But if she spews these numbers at you and it makes it sound precision based, like she knows her facts, you're more apt to believe her con artist ass, right?
After you see there was some real shit going on with Allison's children and the Wells. Trust and believe me, a whole lot. Anyway, this is the second half. After you see the video of the milk jug right here, right there, that's right there, 3.2 miles away from Ben Hill Road.
But it's not, is it? She made it sound good, sold it to idiots. Karen.
Ben Hill Road. Right there on the milk jugs. That's when this video was taken. This is after she was dressed up. This is after, they put makeup on her. And I'm telling you, there is lipstick on this child's lips. I don't care what anybody says. There's lipstick, and it is smeared. It is smeared right there on the right-hand side, down below her lip. And I'm telling you, it looks to me like there is foundation. Foundation has been put on her face, because even her nose doesn't look right. Her nose does not look right. I'll do some comparisons. Comparisons.
Do you mean comparisons? What the fuck are comparisons? Brilliant.
And show them to you, so you can see what I mean when I say there's makeup on this child's face, because there is. There definitely is. And you can see her hood's pulled where they used it to, because these people are big people. These are some, Candace is a big person. Grandis is, Hopalong Cassidy that day. And, you got Lord of Mercy, Allison, who was huge. And you have...
What the fuck does Hopalong Cassidy have to do with that? I wonder.
Hunter shaking and rocking and all kinds of weird shit in his room, won't come out.
What does that have to do with her hood being pulled and these being big people? Where is this going? Where is the segue? Yeah, you see Summer's hood there and it's pulled, and these are big people you're dealing with. And Hopalong Cassidy and Hunter shaking, and what is this bunch of garbled up bullshit that's just nothing? Nothing.
I think, and I think Allison said he wouldn't come out because they was wanting him to help with Summer, help get her propped up in here, and he wasn't.
He didn't. Nobody said that. But she just said Allison said that. Did she not? What the hell?
Candace is a big person. Grandis is, Hopalong Cassidy that day. And, you got...
Oh, that was a knee joke. But it's not funny when you realize that Hopalong... I love how you keep dating the shit out of yourself, though, with these references you make to characters that... Like, let me show you what generation knew Hopalong Cassidy. And what era that was. For those of you who may not be aware, I mean, Topper have lung cancer, 1937. And if she was still watching us, she would have watched them in rerun. Anyway. So, vintage 1950s, 37. Bro. It was a TV series from 1952 to 54. See, this is what you get for trusting AI. Oh, the actor. That's not possible. Never go for AI results first. They're as bad as goddamn PG, but yeah, so you're looking at mid 50s. 52, 54. Then eventually it come along when reruns began to be a thing, and they were capable of that on TV, obviously. But yeah, I love it. She does it often if you listen.
Lord of mercy, Allison, who was huge, and you have, Hunter shaking and rocking and all kinds of weird shit in his room, won't come out. I think, and I think Allison said he wouldn't come out because they was wanting him to help with Summer, help get her propped up in here, and he was what Allison, who was huge, and you have, Hunter shaking and rocking and all kinds of weird shit in his room, won't come out. I think, and I think Allison said he wouldn't come out because they was wanting him to help with Summer, help get her propped up. And
I think Allison said he wouldn't come out because they were wanting his help to, prop up Summer. She's saying this stuff like she was there in part and this there, and or giving people the impression that she's heard Allie say things, or that's
and he wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. He's like, he was done fried. He was fried from everything that done went down. And that's my opinion. And, so he wasn't about to help prop this child up. That's why you could see her hood pulled the way it was, because you have these big people out there, that can't hardly do nothing. You got Candace, she's a sloth, right? She's a sloth. She's a lazy sloth. And you got Grandis, like I said, she's hopping along. And
so wait. All of these people could pick up Summer any day of the week, but suddenly they could no longer pick her up. And so therefore that's why her hood's over to the side. Are you... This is what you're telling people? Homie.
Got a big shot in the freaking knee. I bet that shit hurt. And, and then you got Allison. I mean, she probably couldn't even fit in the door to help prop this up. So, you got these women out there trying to work together to get this done, and this is the result of it. They was pinning her all in and everything and staging her up, and you can tell.
Pinning her all in and staging her.
Staged because they're too ignorant. They're too ignorant to understand that if she would have laid on that milk jugs herself.
Y'all want to hear it again? I love it when she does that. This brilliant fucking bitch. And I don't know what ignorant has to do anything. Look at the job you've been able to pull off on people. And that you've helped other ignorants with, apparently, according to you, allegedly. Right? Never underestimate the power of ignorant, stupid people in groups willing to do whatever. I guess.
Hood would have been behind. And, and then you got Allison. I mean, she probably couldn't even fit in a door to help prop this up. So, you got these women out there trying to work together to get this done, and this is the result of it. They was pinning her all in and everything and staging her up, and you can tell it's staged because, they're too ignorant. They're too ignorant to understand that if she would have laid on that milk jugs herself, the hood would have been behind her, not pulled like that. Her arms wouldn't have been all pinned in the milk jugs. She would have, kept that one arm on top of the milk jug right there because, it would have put her arm to sleep to have it pinned like that. In that.
What? It would put her on to sleep to have her arm like it? So, wait. You're implying she was just fine and asleep and not. Hold on. And I don't see her arms pinned between the milk jugs. What the hell? And she's doing this while the picture's on screen. You know what? The Storm has something to say about this. I know I've seen flashes of lightning coming in. Wild on the storm and the rain. Have something to say. Skies breaking.
On it and pinned up like that, it would have put the arm and her hand to sleep. So she would have definitely had it over top of that milk jug, and she'd have probably had her hand up under her head, to keep the coldness off of her temples. That's pretty much what a kid.
You mean temple?
It'll cover its temple with this hand if it's going to lay against keep and her hand to sleep. So she would have definitely had it over top of that milk jug, and she'd have probably had her hand up under her head.
She.
To keep the coldness off of her temples. That's pretty much what a kid will do. It'll cover its temple with this hand if it's going to lay against something that's too hot or too cold because it don't want the heat or the coldness on the side of its head and face. That's very bothersome. Just saying.
No, you saying it so many times in reference to Summer or any child. That's what's concerning.
This is definitely staged. This is not a kid that just, on the way home, joyfully happy and decided to,
Just like all your shit and all your lives and all your scripts and all your garbage every night are staged and bullshit and, well, storyline freako, predatory, criminalistic shit. Taking advantage of the truly ignorant, willfully or otherwise. But definitely by design on PG. Tell us more about staged and covering up for and tithing Jesus, you don't think?
Lay over and fall asleep. Hell to the no. And then, once she got back to Ben Hill Road, she calls Marlena on the phone. She meets up with Chad Arnold down at Fred's house. This weirdo guy right here, Mr. Jimmy Long, right? He's been saying some weird stuff. I heard he's been saying some real weird stuff about.
Speaking of, I seen her title at, was it last night or night before, I don't know. And then that Jimmy Long thing or whatever. And then I think Andy's image, a couple others in the thumbnail, implying, I guess, that two people have been being looked for days to be spoken to by police. But see if she'd left up in those Marlena and Phoebe bullshit con artist jobs they were all doing together. As Ziggy and Fred went quiet, weirdly enough. You'd be able to hear that Marlena originally said that, according to her family and others, they were telling her that Jimmy character now, like, they've been talked to 2 or 3 times in a week. And then she was like, oh, well, 2 to 3 times in 2 or 3 days. Now, PG, because all that's hidden, is taking all around saying these people are still being looked for to be talked to. And I don't know. And by putting images up there of others like Andy or else, it gives you the impression that Andy's being looked for. Other people are, right? And that's not true. They know exactly where all of us are. I mean, this bitch is taking you on a ride and has been for years. And I'm telling you, it ain't for Summer and Jesus and the American way.
About Summer's case, and law enforcement's looking for him. Why? Because of this gravesite right here in Morrison Cemetery. This gravesite, they want to talk to these two because law enforcement knows something about this gravesite right here that we don't. And probably what they know about it is these two had something to do with digging it, And they also know that old Chad Arnold met up with Candace that day. She followed him right out of Ben Hill Road. And people say, oh, the cameras wouldn't know.
Wait, you're saying that in almost 4 years they've been unable to locate Chad to speak to him? Or, and then you're predicating it on this bullshit you've sold off about the cemetery. It's false as fuck. Anyway. But that's weird. I mean, you told me all of us see Chad played in all this other stuff, but the feds couldn't find him or locals. Okay. Hey, but if your audience buys it, or tithes for it, go ahead, Satan.
Cameras on mother freaking Ben Hill Road. There is no and even if there was cameras, who had something to do with digging it. And they also know that old Chad Arnold met up with Candace that day. She followed him right out of Ben Hill Road. And people say, oh, the cameras wouldn't know. There ain't no cameras on mother freaking Ben Hill Road.
Now there are no cameras, according to PG, anywhere on Ben Hill. Alright, PG. But yet what she said for all this, you know why she's saying this? Is because her and Lisa are having it out again. And Lisa's all over doing fuck shit. And Ryan's lifting up that fuck shit because Lisa's one of the crew now. And oh my god. Y'all, what mess. Battle of Tragedy Pimps.
There's no and even if there was cameras down on Beach Creek, even if there was cameras on Ben Hill or Beach Creek, this particular cemetery sits up on a hill, so the cameras below wouldn't be able to catch.
Where the grave was dug prior, there wasn't anything in it when Summer vanished. Equipment, search dogs, search crews were there. Police were set up with direct eye contact on that grave 24 hours a day. Thermal, ground penetrating, etc. were there for all those days. Search crews, search dogs, cop 24/7 there right in front of it. And then they also were all present as the grave several days after Summer vanished was then closed and filled in after the services on the 18th with cops 24/7 and detectives and ground penetrating and thermal and drones and all that. PG. Tell us more. I'm sure law enforcement did not talk to the grave diggers or that ground penetrating and thermal radar led today in search. I'm sure the cops didn't ever direct eye contact with that grave watching the services and all the days it was open for and after. Oh yeah. Hey, if she can mind fuck you though, she's gonna do it. If if you allow it, she's gonna do it.
Anything up there anyway. Just like they're not going to catch nothing up on 110. It's not going to catch nothing over at Andy's. They can only catch what is on the road if there was, but there wasn't. There was only one camera, and that.
What, you think cameras only, like, film roadways? Like, they don't have a wider angle or spacing out or would catch movements? Especially since that's one lane barely able to fit one car at a time. You think they, man, maybe the pictures off all of our camera, like this, she's an idiot. But I love it. She's trying to say this shit.
Camera was a trail cam that was at a neighbor's property as you go out. As you come down and you get ready to go out onto Beach Creek, out of Ben Hill on.
Oh God, now she's gonna go with Lisa's fuckery. Now she's gonna go with that. But you know what, ma'am, just shut up.
Beach Creek. There was a trail cam that belonged to a neighbor who turned it into law enforcement because it actually had on it the video of Candace following. It watched Chad Arnold come in and go down, and then it seen Chad Arnold come out and Candace coming out behind him. There you go.
But you just said Chad followed Candace out. Hold on.
So Chad what because of this gravesite right here in Morrison Sentinel. And if it's going to lay against something that's too hot or too cold because it don't want to feel the heat or the coldness on the side of its head and face. And that's very bothersome. Just saying. This is definitely staged. This is not a kid that just, on the way home, joyfully happy and decided to, lay over and fall asleep. Hell to the no. No. And then, once she got back to Ben Hill Road, she calls Marlena on the phone. She meets up with Chad Arnold down at Fred's house. This weirdo guy right here, Mr. Jimmy Long, right? He's been saying some weird stuff. I heard he's been saying some real weird stuff about Summer's case. And, law enforcement's looking for him. Why? Because of this gravesite right here in Morrison Cemetery. This gravesite. They want to talk to these two because law enforcement knows something about this gravesite right here that we don't. And probably what they know about it is these two had something to do with digging it. And they also know that old Chad Arnold met up with Candace that day. She followed him right out of Ben Hill Road. And people say, oh, the cameras wouldn't. No, there ain't no cameras on mother freaking Ben Hill Road. There is no and even if there was cameras down on Beach Creek, even if there was cameras on Ben Hill or Beach Creek, this particular cemetery sits up on a hill. So the cameras below wouldn't be able to catch anything up there anyway. Just like they're not going to catch nothing up on 110. It's not going to catch nothing over at Andy's. You know, they can only catch what is on the road if there was, but there wasn't. There was only one camera, and that particular camera was a trail cam that was at a neighbor's property as you go out. As you come down and you get ready to go out onto Beach Creek, out of Ben Hill onto Beach Creek, there was a trail cam that belonged to a neighbor who turned it into law enforcement because it actually had on it the video of Candace following. It watched Chad Arnold come in and go down, and then it seen Chad Arnold come out and Candace coming out behind him. There you go.
Okay.
So, you know, and that's the only camera that, you know, that I've heard was anywhere in sight. And that's the camera that caught Candace and Chad Arnold. And that's the reason that law enforcement called Candace back in.
But yeah, how long has she been on a camera ship? Prior and all the others exist, but now none of those exist. But a minute ago it was that there were no cameras on, but now there is, and it matches with Lisa. Is this bitch ever consistent? And didn't she just help with that 1.5 year long bullshit goober fight? With the Andy versus Fred? Yes, she did.
And questioned her about coming out twice after they arrived home. They said, we know for a fact you came out 2 times after coming back into Ben Hill Road. And she did. And she did. She came after she got into Ben Hill Road with Grandis.
Well, any other time, PG's like, bitch, the cops told her if they knew she'd come out twice, that they were, I don't know. You know,
in summer into Ben Hill Road. And she did. And she did. She came after she got into Ben Hill Road with Grandis and in summer. She came back down, went down to Fred's house and met up with Chad Arnold and followed him out onto Beach Creek. And then she came back, she went back up on the hill to stage all the BS, telling the boys, where's your sister, running down into the basement, doing all this bullshit, and then, you know, calling law enforcement after she called Dawn, calling law enforcement, and then she got in that vehicle, Grandis's vehicle, came back down off the hill. That's when she met up with Jody Sue, and she was riding around trying to hide from law enforcement. She wanted to ride around like she's looking for Summer, but she was really riding around to, you know, not meet up with law enforcement until Dawn got there. She was trying to stay on the phone. Actually, it was a video call. She was trying to stay on there with Dawn Wells.
You know what? Bless her, Lord, because she knows she's sinning. Suck Fred, she was everywhere and nowhere.
In order to not have to, you know, face law enforcement. She left Grandis up there with the boys to face law enforcement. Well, she took her.
The boys weren't up there, Candace Sr. when law came in. P.D. shut up.
And ran. So, you know, why would you run? I mean, why would you be out running?
She wasn't running. She's right there at the end of the race. You know what? Shut up, PG. Shut up. You're evil. Shut up, PG.
Away from law enforcement. I mean, I would think you would want to talk to them. I think they, you know, they are the ones you would want to correspond with if your child was really missing the way they tried to act like she was. But they weren't, you know, they wasn't acting right. Law enforcement knows they weren't acting right. But, you know, this grave site right here, was an open grave site on June 15th, 2021. It was sitting over there in Morrison Cemetery because Timothy Morrison had passed away on the 11th. He was, not to be buried till the 18th. And usually they dig the grave a few days prior to the person being put down. And, and they put the big tin up. They put the big tin up over top of it so, it doesn't get rained in and so forth and so on. And people know not to be messing around there because there's an open grave. Common sense right there. So, that's what was going on June 15th. Now, personally, I think that Summer was already, if she's in this grave, well, she got put in it before law enforcement was even called.
It wouldn't matter, PG. Thermal, ground penetrating, search dogs, search crews, cop with eyeballs on that grave 24/7, plus detectives, that's the best going, drones going. Yep, you can see them in some of our bits circling right over that. Before dark that first night, PG. Yeah, ignorant bitch who's trying to sell shit to the masses.
That's what Candace was doing. Candace followed Chad over to make sure that Summer got put in. And that's what, why she was missing almost an hour and a half, because she was over there surveillance and everything and watching. And then, and it wouldn't have took long. To
surveillancing.
Move some dirt and put a child this size underneath it and cover it up. And then that's when she went back into Ben Hill Road, back up on the hill, staged all the bullshit, called, she already knew. She already knew that everything's taken care of. It's done. Everything's done. Right? Absolutely. Just saying. And that's where these people come into play. They're the second half. They're the second half after the video was taken.
How are we the second half after the video was taken? Are you stupid?
Here you got Jody Sue, you got, the son, and you got Andy. Jody Sue and the son was saying, oh, we heard an animalistic scream. We heard this.
No, that's not what I said. He said animalistic, but not. Just his way of describing. Yeah, no, he clearly said animalistic, but not. But I love how y'all continue to do that bullshit. And I never described it as animalistic. Whatever.
Big animalistic scream, right? It's unfounded. It's unfounded. And it came.
And that can mean a lot of things. It can be said for a lot of reasons, too. And, get this, nobody but you all stuck on that. Even I take it in and out every day, and all my puzzling and wondering. And okay, there could be an explanation at some point, somewhere along the way. There could be something, And I take it in and out, and if I can do that, you all should be able to do that, So, I just know what we're told in the background, and it's all, and I just, one day, I guess we'll all know, won't we? And, that's all I'm gonna tell y'all. And, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna live eternally, until somebody gives an answer, reason, or explanation for it. So there's that. But, yeah, one day we hope for answers. But I'm willing to always be like, hey, could count, could not. Could be an explanation that we've not thought of for, Just how it is. And
Way too damn early. Because they would have, Candace Grandis, the son, and you got Andy. Jody Sue and the son was saying, oh, we heard an animalistic scream.
there was 3+ of us there. Just alright, but I love how you just put it down there. And now you're at that. Oh dear. Wait, oh dear. And you tried to include Andy. Andy wasn't even there. Fuck. God.
We heard this big animalistic scream, right? It's unfounded. It's unfounded. And it came way too damn early. Because they would have, Candace Grandis and Summer would have been outside planting flowers.
This bitch and her, it came too early. Remember her telling Dawn that? Now she openly says that she was arguing with Dawn that it didn't match. It didn't go along there. It actually broke down there, blah, blah, blah. No. And Dawn was like, no, it fits. It fits. And she's like, no, Dawn, it doesn't. It means there's trouble in paradise. And now Jody Sue must be eliminated. Right? And once they all became aware of the time of it. And now this bitch is always been, well, it came an hour too early. What do you mean it came an hour too early, homie? It happened when it happened. The only people that would be saying that or arguing that with Dawn Wells would be you, Sissy Gardens. You're the one over there telling them what doesn't, what this, what that, and probably who to target or fuck with, just like you admitted to being asked to fuck with my children, etc., and to target the shit out of us on purpose by the Wells. You admitted to that. You remember? Maybe if ever you're asked, I'm sure you'll slam the door in law enforcement faces. Say you just said it for YouTube, right? I'm sure it's what your types do. I know it is. Anyway, and that's how you keep and continue to try to get by with your shit, right? But anyway, bro, it looks like you were coaching them. Or being like, hey, no, wait, now, we all know the time, there's a problem, Dawn. Uh-oh. We thought we could have this on chairs and use it when it's suited. And then the time ran out. But then wait, let's out it because, well, the sisters and McDonough are up to stuff and we need to distract. So let's finally say it out loud. Yeah, I wonder who it was arguing with all of them about that scream. Like you've admitted to their prayer garden, but you've tried to put off on me. You know how you've been like, you know, Candace tried to get her to change her time of the scream, and there was an argument. It never happened. Bitch, that was you and them. And you've been sitting there for all this time saying you were telling Dawn how the scream would match it, this, there. And now you leaked the shit out of what you did and your guilt was seeing in whatever you made up in your head or computer or not, but you were the one like, shit, this don't add up, doing the math for him and being like, oh man, this can't be part of the hillbilly sicko thing, and oh god, and you're over there telling Dawn that, you know, it don't fit and it has to get ended up, and now all you can do is repeat. The scream happened an hour too soon. It's only something a script writer or somebody wanting something to fit whatever they fucking want it to fit says. That's what a cover-upper, helper motherfucker sounds like right there, Prayer Garden. You. That scream happened when it happened. Not too soon or too late. It just was when it was. And it counts if it counts. Only a guilty ass script writing, covering up motherfucking type of individual goes, the scream happened an hour too soon, this happened, and see, it's you with the criminalistic mind, you devil bitch. You around the wells, you doing whatever. I've even witnessed you online covered on ass. in real time and be like, no, it's being, even though it's for lighter fair shit around here. Sort of, because it was about who gave whose phone number, about like you and the PG and the whatever. But Jenna started being targeted broadside if you know, got left in the dust by Ziggy, and Jenna was preferred because she was real and not built and full of bullshit like you and Ziggy had planned. Something real like Jenna came along, and you're already mad at her. Then her number suddenly gets given out. She starts being terrorized like many were by the things that were built to target. And once they displays her the green eyes and characters like that, am I right? And you know, it's obviously Don that's giving her, and he says it, and you're like, no, 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 that's Benny. Benny did blah blah, and because Don's like, well, I gave Benny, and then you go right back, yeah, we've watched you cover up for Don. And now he gets people he displeased with, like Jenna, targeted by those working for them, like Benny and you. And even while y'all were supposedly still into it, you thought if you could get back around the Wells and be nice again, even though you're out in all shit and being built up by Ziggy, you'd cover him real time and suck back up. Worked for a bit, didn't it, PG? Hell, it may still, but just distantly inside the team. Or no. Just wanted to put that in there.
Her hands getting a piece of peppermint candy, her favorite. She wouldn't even have been close to the house yet because she didn't even come up missing until 5:55, according to Candace. Right? Damn near 6 o'clock. So how in the hell could an animalistic scream be Summer when she's in the middle of having so much fun?
According to you, she was passed away hours prior, so I don't know. All we know is it happened when it happened. Ain't nothing can change that. Cancer doesn't. But that's not the only thing we witnessed or heard that day. No, is it PG? I guess you'll figure it out. I know lately I've been trying to target all that stuff too, but I'll wait on that. And y'all don't know all the things still, you see, so how you gonna do that? You can't. Ignorant motherfuckers.
On mommy. Right? Right. And you know, Andy's at work just like Don Wells. He's got his GPS. He's got, you know, Don's got his freaking Starlink to cover his backside. That's the way it is. That's the way it is, you guys. But you know, there's a lot more to these people right here. You know, they got some kind of dog in the race. I don't know what that dog is, but if you...
Now she's taken out too, and now it's just me. And I don't care what else it is. Something from a Discord, I believe. I don't know. Don't care.
Me, they got a dog in the race. And, you know, Andy Bernard says right there plainly on the screen, I'm the real Andy B. I think she's in Morrison Cemetery. I'm not scared to say it. I'm not scared to say it, he said. Right? Now, that's in 2025. But in 2021, here we got good old, Jody Sue.
Oh, God, it's Discord's opinion. And that is way after Ginger Snap changed her name. That's not the grave, PG. It's not the grave, PG. I hate that for you. Bless you. And it was filled in the service held the morning after some rush from across houses or fresh liquor. Okay. And we were kind of busy. I wasn't watching the funeral. I just know the cops in Delhi had that situation down. Anyway, but then, yeah, hate that for you. But, I also wasn't implying really that Summer was in or around another grave either. It had to do with other things. And it has since been. And then, before I even spoke this to that dipshit, I knew that had been checked, so. And not for Summer, but for other reasons. Carry on.
Says,
Wouldn't y'all like to know? Bless you.
it was filled in and the service held right here. She says there was a freshly dug grave. And she said it was filled in and the service held, the service held is so blurry. After Summer vanished, around from across from the houses, she said.
Yeah, alright, that's true, and it's still true that there was fixed wing, searchers, cops' eyes on it, blah blah. And you didn't see me going, hey, Summer's in the grave, blah 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 blah, either, right? And shit, even parts we wondered throughout this is like, well, could there be a possibility of me doing this wrong? All of us probably thought it at one point, and it's like, nah, you know, common sense says that, nope. Couldn't have been so, but anyway, I wasn't talking about Summer being in that, obviously. And the other one that I'm talking about, even before I spoke, see, this is how you know, like, when I know by this point, right, that I'm dealing with a bunch of tragedy pieces of shit, like Penny and them. And, well, and I know the things I'm saying to them have already been checked out. But I guess y'all would like responses or to why I'm talking about another grave and giant metal topping a stereo, whatnot. I'm sure you would love to know. And well, I hate that for you, you're not gonna know. And but I knew even by this point because in real time as these thoughts hit some of our minds, as soon as Summer vanished, and certain things were happening, to tell law enforcement and real detectives about them. And we know they were checked. Long before we ever come into, well, a pack of motherfucking criminals we could obviously and quickly identify as such. Meh, keep them talking on Discord. Fuck you mean? It's really beautiful, isn't it? When people are wired to see monsters. And they have backbone. I know y'all don't like it much, but I hate it for you, though. Oh, wait, I'm triggered. Hold on, I'll get you a response. Oh God, I'm in distress. Oh God, they're saying I've said something. I gotta, oh, and I'm gonna have to respond and maybe accidentally give them more information than they want and think they're entitled to, and we can cause chaos and get content from and fuck up everything and everybody's lives. Oh, hold on, it's coming to me. No, it's not.
Do you know who it was? She says Morrison Cemetery, about 10 feet from the end of Ben Hill Road, which was just right across the road.
Yeah, that one definitely was. with cops' eyes on it, and helicopters and thermal and ground penetrating and search dogs and search crews, and detectives and all the specialty, teams and groups and stuff you could imagine. And I also knew that in real time when these thoughts hit our mind and cops and detectives say, if you think of anything, let us know. And we did. And we knew it was already vetted and nothing burger, which is why I fed it out to Penny in the Discord. Once I realized I was dealing with a whole bunch of bullshit con artist motherfuckers trying to play games with me and who had hunted me. I hate that for all of you. Any further motherfucking goddamn questions? That's what the fuck I thought. Carrying on.
Oh yeah, the cemetery's right across the road.
But I'm
And
sure you really wonder what the hell's behind that story. Yeah, I guess you gotta call the feds, PG. You gotta lie to them. They must tell you, obviously, like you said, everything we say or that they say to us. Call them and ask. Sure, they'll tell you. I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna do it.
he says there's also a grave there that used to have, she's trying to change the subject now. She said used to have a giant medal on.
I'm not trying to change the subject. That's okay. I mentioned one. It's a nothing thing. And then I say this about the other. And I know all the things have been verified and vetted, so there's no harm in saying. And, meh. That's what you get when you hunt people down and they take exception to it. And you're really trying to mind fuck, manipulate, play con and criminal, web sleuthy fucking bullshit games with them while thinking they're stupid and ignorant. You get that. Real valid shit, but not all things with. And that those of us around here know that have already been taken care of in real time. Because we did the right thing and we talked to law enforcement about them immediately. You see? So you're not really getting things from us to begin with. See how that works? Much like certain newspaper articles.
You could lift up and hide shit under. But I never was able to go see if it was still like that. What do you mean, Jody? So you was able to go over all the way over to old Miss Goad's house, right? You could go all the way to Miss Goad's house, her and her daughter's home, and you could run yourself all over their yard, right? They caught you out there.
I did not go over there and run around their yard and get caught and all this. And Sherfy's bullshit and asked that the dude wasn't even present when Mary and I and home were talking, and everything was cordial and there was no gunplay. There was nothing like that. You're full of shit. He's full of shit. He's got a pedo boy to cover for, no attention on, and I don't give a fuck what else. And I don't give a shit about any of you. And the MGL name came into town first, and everybody been fucked with by it. Boy, I don't give a fuck. And the relations back to certain other motherfuckers and monsters might not play a role in that chirpy fuckery at all, at least. No, never. Anyway, fuck all y'all and fuck Sherfy. He truly can't go fuck himself, and I say it pretty confidently considering the bastard about 5-6 houses down from right now, so yeah. Fuck him and fuck all y'all. All of y'all lying pieces of shit with shit to hide and cowards can't get my avatars. I just fuck all y'all. And fuck a bunch of motherfuckers pulling ignorant shit on the wrong Appalachian bitch. So, hate it for all of you. I appreciate that you have a museum of Jody Sue up that wasn't even accurate to begin with, because certain people are deleting shit and altering it in real time. I'd love for y'all to have the real ones. I I do hold those in real time because they caught on real quick to that shit. You had to be screen recording, taking pics of Penny on in real time because they were doing some fuck shit. You also have to have all the rooms and all the calls to go with it. You see, to see what all they were doing and to put all the shit together, which even Jenny and Adrian thought they'd be giving all up. And then the night they were sniping one channel and they were doing the shit and pulling views from a sniping channel. And then Penny had to admit to him that no, they didn't indeed have all the rooms. You should have heard them because they were all like, we have everything, we have all the things. And then Penny's like, well, actually, she's not lying over there. You don't have the things. They're like, what? Yeah. Yeah, the dear Museum of Discord of Penny. Sure, I'll carry on. Love it.
What are you doing? And you started talking about clinking metal.
And you can see this yourself throughout the year, especially the early ones. How what Penny put out and what I put out were two different. Like you could see where hers on, and throughout time she would go back and edit. They would say edited, or this would happen, or pieces are missing. But my screen dates and the info for when I took those screenshots held in real time. But Penny's did like. Man, you could see it and how they were fucking with that damn thing the whole time. It's fucking fantastic.
I heard clinking metal. I heard clinking metal. Is what you was saying. And they said we're calling law.
I'm pretty sure FBI has that in all the rooms of data in real time. So, and especially after I turned it in and gave them the name and entryway into that. Because I really did do that. It's not a joke, and I really did. And I was asked to after we realized we've been so yeah. We're already hotter than fire on devices anyway, but yeah, I don't think they liked anybody playing fake Fed or otherwise, or fucking with us on that level. So I gave permission and access to that shit. I guess they didn't believe me, and y'all still don't. But, yeah. And then I just did whatever to keep them in there for however long they whatevered. That's a y'all problem.
Right now, and you took your ass and you ran.
Sort of trying to figure it out why they were super anti set up Lawson, and why Q was sending mugs trying to set up Lawson, and whose Bender or locally was after Lawson or something, and and just keeping them in there being stupid for as long as possible while they thought I was stupid, that's a them problem, not a me.
Got out of there ASAP, and it's funny thing because after you were there, they found a footprint. They found a footprint out there in the area where she was running that ass around. There, clinking metal. I heard clinking metal. So, old Miss Goad's house, right? You could go all the way to Miss Goad's house, her and her daughter's home, and you could run yourself all over their yard, right? They caught you out there. They said, "What are you doing?" And you started talking.
They didn't catch me anywhere, bro. Once they were already outside, and the next time I knocked on the door. Nobody caught me anywhere. Nope. And the conversations were nice and cordial and rather quite lengthy, and nobody had problems. Goodbyes were exchanged. We talked about stuff. I wasn't running around anywhere. Hung out on the porch with them. In the driveway, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. And I wasn't all over their yard or properties, and I was not going anywhere. I should not have been on anyone's property. So no, sorry. Try again, PG, with your narratives.
Clinking metal. I heard clinking metal. I heard clinking metal. Is what you was saying, and they said we're calling long.
Oh, you're trying to combine that with that? Well, those are all separate things too, PG. So you think whatever over there is the same as the other thing I was talking to them about. Well, all separate things. And I mean, I guess if they called law enforcement about me talking about it, that's cool because I had already talked to law enforcement about it prior to even going and talking to them about it. So, yeah, super sauce. And I've got my receipts on that and messages to prove that to be so. So, I don't want to tell you. I'm sure the agents that I talked about it are well aware of it. So, yeah. And I even told them I was going to go and talk to people I thought I could trust about it that wouldn't flip out. Could be of help trying to figure out certain things. But hey, if they thought it was, that's fine. But I guess they, whatever, I don't really care. Because like I said in real time before I even went to ask anything, I'd already told Ellie about all these things. And I have my receipts to back that up. So no, nobody was caught anywhere. Nobody was running amok. No super extra gunfight battles or bad behavior was present anywhere. Sharfie wasn't even fucking there any of the times. So, I hate that if that's what you tell Ellie. I hate that for the motherfucker. Don't really care. So, I don't know what to tell you. But if you're trying to say that somehow that cemetery stuff is what the other thing, you're wrong. But wouldn't you like to know? Too bad. I don't guess you're one of the detectives we talked to about it before even talking to others about it. Or telling people clearly we were going to talk to others about it in advance of doing so. And, good for me, I guess, that I did protect myself in that way. Bunch of goddamn diabetes on Ben Hill. But anyway, and on YouTube. But, hate that for you, wouldn't y'all like to know? I guess y'all just have to call the FBI and see if they'll tell you, like, they apparently tell PG everything. I doubt that's gonna happen. And because I knew it was a nothing thing, I had no problem saying it there. And I didn't really expound upon it. And even if I had, if it wouldn't make it then. All the things already been done. Way before. Tragedy pimps hunting us and thinking we were all ignorant. Came in with their Discordy shit. Hey, but Penny made her a fortune taking you out for a ride. Showing you all shit where an Appalachian bitch with attitude of being hunted down and treated like a dumbass by a tragedy pimp doofuses across the world. Was figuring them out and hunting them down. I hate that. She's made a fortune on it. Y'all good? One, by the way, I'm sure that each and every time all of y'all visited was taken note by the feds who were in that bitch. Who all was worried about the Discord? Let's all go back. Linda sharing it, Linda, everybody's doing this. And look, Penny's going to pay people to come into it and add their online signatures to it. And that way it makes it harder for feds to figure out all the data, right? And to unwrap it. Boy. Y'all do wonderful for me. You don't even think about what the fuck they're doing. Y'all are idiots.
Right now, and you took your ass and you ran. You got out of there ASAP, and it's a funny thing because after you were there, they found a footprint. They found a footprint out there in the area where she was running that ass around, supposedly belonging to Summer.
Bro, no. And since my feet are a size like 11, I don't think mine in any way could be mistaken for Summers. The fuck do y'all think my ass has? A size 3 or 6 like most of y'all? My feet are almost 11. Bitch, I'm Sasquatch, remember? And no shit, my feet really are that large. That's a monster. So, I don't know what to tell you, but I was nowhere in or around their property like that. Porch only, bro. So, fuck right off. I love it. And didn't PG have Candace over there saying there was a footprint on 125 too? Oh, wait, let's not forget PG at or 12 said that I cut Summer's feet off and that I planted all of Summer's footprints throughout the hills and mountains, whatever. She did that. She certainly fucking did that. She sure did. And then another day I was there on the pockets and they're cut off, which I'm sure she heard on Mama Bears today or wherever it was. I think that was it. And that's why this tonight, too. Either way, I mean, yeah, I guess she tells you that. Then even if one of the Summers were found anywhere near there, and obviously, um, yeah, those properties actually sort of connect, so that wouldn't be strange. Just because I mean, like, that's like saying, I don't know, the neighbors in the middle or anybody else happen to be near the others or anything, and then, ooh, there's Summer's footprint. Like, I mean, Jesus, Dawn and them live connected to that land that's right there from Marianne's Lake. And that's where the boys are. I don't want to tell you people. Whatever she wants to say you, though. You carry right on.
I don't know. Just saying. They did find a footprint in that area where she was that day. This was very shortly after Summer came up missing.
No. Now, whatever y'all say, though. Here tell. Well, there's also a statement online by one of those folks around there that says some things that I guess PG's unaware of. One that's pretty well hidden around here. Accidentally. Anyway, meh. Alright, anyway, carry on.
But as you see, and this was 2021. This right here was 2021.
Oh my gosh, so were you, PG. Fuck, you were early and certain. Hell, while the rest of us are still living there trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, you were already in there tampering with everything. Including Summer's case, investigation, her parents, everybody else. We're all still being questioned, detectives start getting goofy shit. It's you people that did all that. While we still had all this real stuff occurring day and night around us. And, so I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, homie.
You're
talking about 21. Bet she was in there to win this shit early on, hunting us all down, getting all the things. Already having your twist on, your words written. You have an effect on words spoken in public. Yeah, PG. That was 21 too. Way before any of us were known publicly or had come public. That was you, PG. and 21.
About that graveyard. You know, people were hearing it, but nobody was listening. She got away. She got away with talking about it because, you know, nobody really caught.
I was not being like, oh, Summer's in the grave or anything here. No, nothing like that. And I was talking about another grave for the reasons, wouldn't y'all like to know why? Like I said, I've also talked about the grave on my lives and things over here, and the cemetery, and other cemeteries, and other graves, and other things throughout all the years. Yeah, and, 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 and Andy should be able to speak whatever the fuck his theory is now, wherever he wants to, without y'all making it a thing and terrorizing people or trying to have bodies exhumed or hunting down Joe, using it as an avenue to do that. I have no right to go into the cemeteries. Just because somebody mentions them doesn't mean that you should be asking for exhumations of loved ones. It doesn't mean that you have a right to be stalking people. It doesn't mean you have a right to create new content or terrorize anyone. It doesn't mean you have a right to hold protests in cemeteries. It doesn't mean you have a right to eat one of us over anything we ever say. Saying one of us said where it does not give you a right or justify what you do. Or to go further, harder in our community, or any of the above. And to use bullshit that's impossible, or has already been done, checked out, verified, to further sell content and hashtag Summer's name in it, while using all of us and your con ass silver tongue technique. Shit, that works. No. Y'all are the fuck sticks, not everybody else.
To this particular, you know, Discord that she was in. And she said this in Discord, that, you know, and it ain't a lot of people in those. So she got away with it. She got
bitch, there are, you could add as many as you want to, but of course there were. Don't give me that shit. Oh, there wasn't a lot of people in them. So of course she get away with it. Bitch, that shit's been out there as the Museum of Jody Sue for years. Penny thought herself way up to get other people into it, to hopefully fuck up feds, and to fuck with me some more, and make people believe shit, and never think, wait a minute, Jody Sue knew she was clearly being hunted by this point, and they're feeding her out fake feds, and wait, why are Jody Sue's receipts almost different than Penny's, and why is this edited all the time? And this there, you know, like, on Penny's end, and, you know, yeah, Penny made herself a fortune off of your all stupidity as well, just like this one's doing. And how do you think that she got these, you think? Because last I knew, well, I don't know if they reopened it. Has Penny done anything? Unlocked her channel? I don't know. I doubt it. But whatever. I know that at one point she did reopen. I don't care. And okay.
with it. But, you know, she ain't getting away with it now because we got a hold of it. We're bringing it out here. And you know,
bitch, like bazillions of people seen that at peak. You're not just bringing out new anything. But, goddamn, who are you now? Christopher Columbus? Alright? You over pulling a cam, a lockdown, and whoever else throughout the years, but now even more sad and tragic, because this shit's like years old. We've done been through this. Wow, it's new, just like that audio. Oh, she altered. Oh my god, it's new. Wow. Oh my god. Oh. No.
Appreciate this, Fred Hill. I appreciate it. Fred Hill is the one that sent me this. Fred Hill is the one that, you know, said, PG, guess what I got? He sent it to me. And he said that he doesn't mind me.
Fred Hill's getting up to a lot of shit lately. Giving Andrew Hiltz money because all this shit's been going on, Marlene. Fred's getting up to this shit. Fred's a year and a half fucking around in all these cases and cotton. Oh my god. Holy shit. Fred's doing the most. Fred's giving location for Marlena so she can be stalked and all the shit done to her through PG for all that time. Oh boy, Fred'll just go full tilt, won't he? But yeah, I highly doubt it was given Fred. Yeah, boy can barely read. And then sent through Fred because Fred's stupid. That boy has like 8 or 9 years pulling probation. Carry on.
You guys know
Lord God.
that, behind the scenes, he is doing all he can to help with Summer's case and, and to try to find evidence.
Or to target others. We should have been at there for years and paying Hills, that was real helpful and all the things, And making sure to have real-time location and people stalking Marlena and doing all that. While hitting the ground after Ziggy and Lips, release the content, Ziggy put it out to catch Marlena's attention. Fred's down here being helpful to Marlena. And then it goes bigger, and then all this shit takes place with Marlena in front of the world for a couple weeks, but shit's been going on in the background for about a year and a half prior. And yeah, it looks like Fred's definitely out to help Summer for sure. Stalking us, doing weird shit, dropping people off to hunt for our cameras here, all that, see what they get by, all that. Yeah, that was helpful to Summer. Trying to trigger, do something to where, court, cops, and playing TV games. Yeah, that was super helpful to Summer. Yep. He's doing all he can, Lord.
Yeah, more evidence.
Just like he was immediately after Summer vanished. Playing Fred games. Pretending he didn't know her. Pretending he hadn't been friends with Don and them, and then changing that. Wait, Jody Sue ain't buying my shit, and Andy and Jody Sue, everybody know better. Fuck. Wait, Summer vanished Saturday. Wait this, wait that. And then him and old Marlena Pants come together and start pumping out the same bullshit. Undead people, wildly enough. Wonders never cease. Yeah, they're all just out here for Summer and working so hard behind the scenes.
To make this grave site more solid for law enforcement to consider pulling it up and checking to see if Summer's in it. So behind the scenes, Fred is trying to.
Dear Fred, you dumbass. They have that Discord, you fucking moron. Did nobody or Penny or Ziggy or anybody make you aware that was actually legitimately turned into the FBI? And what was down with that Discord? Or you fucking bunch of idiots not been listening all these years and in the least. Oh, wait, I did actually get maybe tonight something new. That all these things, I said that Penny and them, they were well known by law enforcement, feds first, right after Summer vanished, and that I knew they'd been handled. Well, I guess, and that also, I think Linda and Penny both made sure and turned these into the feds at some point. Yeah, they'll love it when you turn them in again. to when the actual guy over Summers' head shit at the feds was like, bitch, they're doing what in that goddamn Discord? Give it to me now. And I was like, alright, so here you go. And so, what y'all got Fred getting his funky, stupid ass up into? What y'all doing? And I hate it for Fred that he didn't know things in real time have been talked to with law enforcement. I don't guess his buddies with all the units and everything told him that. It's bad. You're bad. Oh, wait, I didn't tell Penny and them that or any of y'all that either. Well, shit. Ain't that a surprise on you all years later when you think you're doing whatever and gonna elicit some sort of response and you got Fred acting stupid and all of you look fucking stupid right now. Yep. It'll make the grave thing look totes more legit to where you can terrorize and tragedy pimp your ways right to Summer's Day on it. Go you guys. Fucking brilliant.
Get this, particular gravesite exhumed as much as we are. And he's trying to find all the stuff he can as well to, make it more.
You'd think Ziggy over there, Adrian Amiss, of all people, who is one of the only ones other than the Qs and others, Linda, Scott, and Penny Dold, and Brad. But Ziggy's the only one been stupid enough to show that she has the emails, was getting those, and then the copy and paste ones from Stacy fucking Slay, the fake Fed. His own wife didn't let him know she was involved in that shit. And that Discord had been turned over to the feds. It's fucking wild, dude. It's almost like they're setting Fred up for failure from the beginning. Good guy, bad guy, documentary style. I don't know, it always had to be one, right? Somewhere between McDonough and PG and Squall. Who's it gonna be? Well, if they have their ways, probably one or the other, and neither one probably did shit. And it'll, it's just. What everything's script writing to existence with an investment team and however many tampering with courts and law enforcement it takes, I suppose. And the public, and they'll go to any depths of hell to do it, won't they? Ziggy and Fred we're gonna be left out! Oh God! No! Anybody got Fred be back. Y'all carry on.
With what these people were saying at that particular time. So he sent this to me letting me know that, on 10/6 of 2021, PG, Jody Sue was in a Discord, and this is what she was saying. She was talking about that cemetery. She was talking about it being an open grave. She's out here now acting like it's all silly and that they dug the grave the same.
It is stupid. If feds or LE thought there was anything to it, they would have already taken care of that quietly. And, yeah, like I said, there's a way for y'all to verify how stupid this shit is about the grave. Either way, that's... I clearly don't even touch on the grave you all are talking about. And say it was open and then closed. And then I'm talking about something else entirely different. And then this bitch is trying to put it together with something else entirely fucking different. Meanwhile, none of you really known all these years that all that was... Or you didn't pay attention when I may have said... that all that was told to LE as it happened in real time, and all these events, all these things we were thinking, as we were told and instructed to do. If anything come to us, any possibilities, anything might be of help, and that certain shit we knew had been taken care of, right? And then weren't really of harm to say to tragedy pimps, hunting us the fuck down and treating us like we were stupid, and in order to keep them into discords and figure out the fuck they were up to, and trying to feed us fake federal agents and committing crimes against us, doing all shit in. I mean, I just hate it for all of you. I do.
They put the person in it and all this bullshit. But he's like, no, this is proof right here that that was an open grave for a few days before, a few days.
Yeah, it was open before, and then it was closed after. Still, the truth is, there were search dogs of all varieties, cops' eyes on that thing 24/7, thermal and ground penetrating radar, all the detectives and all the beautiful minds in the world on that thing. Your point is? I mean, because you're just proving mine. Yeah, it was open before and closed after. It's true story, so, like, what's your point here? And you just said exactly what I said. It was open before and closed after. And hell does what? And then I moved on to something else. Didn't really expound upon that either. I knew it was a nothing thing. So, and I'd already talked to Ellie about it as they instructed us to do in real time. Hey, y'all are ignorant or unaware of that fact till now. That's a pity. Bless you.
Before it got filled in, and she knew it. She knew it. This is.
Yeah, like you all have known it and like you know it now. The grave was dug before and it was filled in after. You're proving my point. I'm confused. Make it make sense. Okay. She knew it was dug before and filled in after. Yeah, that's. What the fuck?
2021. So what do you got to say now, Jody Sue? Because this is you. You're Bunny. You are Bunny 4891.
Yeah, I'm Bunny. And then whatever numbers, I guess. And I'm also X125. And I'm also 40 years old. Almost 6 feet tall. My feet are almost size 11. Walker's Fork is 4.8 miles away from Ben Hill. The grave was dug before and filled in after. Thermal, ground penetrating, drones, etc. Dogs, cops' eyes on whatever. Okay. I'm lost here. Um, what do you got to say for yourself now? I don't know. The same thing I've been saying for days and years. Huh? I'm lost here, guys. Okay.
Oh, Bunny baby, right? You was running your mouth about Morrison Cemetery, and you thought no one going to.
I was clearly not running my mouth. That is one sentence. Somebody said there was a freshly dug grave. It was filled in and the service held the morning after. Some vanished across from the houses. That's all I really say. They wanted to know who it was. I moved on to something else that was entirely different. Not related. Yeah, it looks like I was doing a whole lot of running my mouth. Don't see me going, I had a dream somewhere in the grave. And even if I had it, what the hell about it? But yeah, I was running my mouth about the grave. Woo! But wait, and then you're just like talking about other shit that is not related to that in the least, and then you just try to make a third thing it's not related to those other two things. Try to all sound like, girl, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You wish you knew, and you wish you were able to elicit responses or trigger them. Like, I don't know, you wish. Oh well, I hate it for all of you. Fuck off. Wow, really ran my mouth about that grave.
This out on you. Well, we just pulled it out on you. We just pulled it out.
I said it existed. So did the rest of the internet. As soon as summer vanished, y'all were saying that over here on social media and talking about it. We seen you doing it long before you're all public. So, we seen all of y'all doing that. Sure did. So, no. And that was the thing pumped out by creators and other locals who didn't know. And it's there long ago. That wasn't an Andy did it. That wasn't Jody Sue did it. That was fucking asshole web sleuths driving by in the first little bit. The first evening summer vanished. Like the cat lover and the rest of them, you know. Sure you recognize some of those. That were putting out bullshit like that. Those trying to embed in search teams, etc., goofballs, newspaper, y'all's research teams, all the bullshit. And it was going out online. And you can find the pieces for yourself that show that social media and dipshits like PG and others, TMs, they were going with that shit almost immediately, especially on Facebook, long before anybody spoke publicly. Even before Prayer Garden managed to insert herself as the team spokesman, if the Whales and cover upper and the scriptwriter for it. So, no, nobody and like I said, even if one of us spoke on it, doesn't mean it justifies or gives you all some sort of right to terrorize, torment, demand exhumations of, hold fucking boycotts and cemeteries like Westboro piece of shits or anything else, or to tragedy pimp, or to do content on, or to try to drag out other witnesses and those around Summer's life in order to tamper and acquire them. So y'all can hopefully get rid or taint or destroy the last of what you all know of. Y'all are making a real bold effort straight out in front of the world with that. So, whatever you say, Satan, carry on with your narrative.
We just proved that your ass knew about this cemetery. You knew. You calling Andy silly and.
So let me get this straight, because I'm like, yeah, a grave was dug before and filled in after. That somehow equates that to Andy being like, I still swear I had a dream and she's over in the cemetery, whatever. That's not the same thing. And everybody on Earth knew prior to us coming public that there was a grave over there and that a funeral had been held. Everybody knew this. It was online everywhere. Way before we were public in late 21. So, I don't know what your point is here. Everybody knew. Was nobody supposed to know? I mean, we lived right across from it. And such. Are you okay, Satan? Were we supposed to, like, not see it? I mean, because the cop could see it, like, 10 feet away, 24 hours a day. Were we not supposed to know it was there? Like, goddamn me to hell for knowing it was right there at the end of our road. I mean, in a cemetery where all of Andy's people and my, oh my god, like, avert thine eyes. Shit. Totally slussed. I knew that there was a funeral over there in the grave. Okay. Y'all wild.
That he's seen exactly what you guys done. I bet he did. I bet he did. No doubt in my mind.
Wait,
You
hold on.
you all might have put it out on you. We just pulled it out. We just proved that your ass knew about this cemetery.
You didn't just pull it out, bitch. Penny's made like a fortune on this bullshit, Discord crap. Everybody and their brothers got all the things in it, honey. It's been out for years. You didn't just pull anything out, nor did Fred or whoever sent this. Go on, mate. Alright, Cam. Cam Gardens, we don't know.
You calling Andy
Both speaking Jesus and all about that blowing the hands off of bees thing, we don't know.
silly and saying that he's seen exactly what you Morrison Cemetery, and you thought no one going to pull this out on you. Well, we just pulled it out on you. We just pulled it out. We just proved.
She proved I had knowledge of a grave at the end of our road being open and closed, like everybody else fucking was aware of in Beach Creek, and the cops and the helicopter and drone pilots and the search crew. Okay, ma'am, you pulled it out on me. Whoo, from a Discord that had a charge to get in fee for years that's already had FBI in it because of what they were doing in it. And it's and oh god, they pulled it out on me, guys. Oh, they pulled it out on me. What am I gonna do? Oh god, it's new hard hit news. Oh my god, I don't know what we're gonna do here. I'm busted. I knew about a grave 10 feet from the end of our road that we had to drive by and drive out for. Yes, that we could all see from our hills. Yep. That we could hear the services take. Yep. I'm so. Oh my god, I knew about it, guys. I knew about it. What the fuck, you idiot? Are you people okay? My god.
Your ass knew about this cemetery. You knew. You calling.
Fred also knew. All the other neighbors knew. The community knew. And by the time in October when I talked to these dipshits about it, the whole world knew. I mean, it was a really big thing that went around social media long before Republic. Look up Cemetery and Grave in Beach Creek. Like, there are many, many pieces that predate any of us ever being online. Seriously. Oh my god. They busted me, guys. I busted. I knew about something 10 feet away. Fuck. They pulled it out on me. Hey, wait. Did you bust Andy too? Because he knew there was a grave there to even speculate on or to have a dream based on where the hell his thing is or to think somewhere was in. I'm confused. Was he also not supposed to know there was one dug over there in the first place, or dug or then filled in? Fred and Laura had to know. Did anybody bust them for no? Oh my God! Wow. Bless us, Lord, for we have sinned. Y'all wild fucking out over here these days. Y'all just playing it fast and loose and full of shit. You're clawing and scraping for anything you're worth, which is not anything, but y'all get paid far more than what you're worth. So. Okay.
He's silly and saying that, he's seen exactly what you guys done. I bet he did.
Wait, what? I do think he's stupid. I think he's fucking ignorant as a bag of shit. But that doesn't mean he can't say whatever. I also think he's working with y'all to lift off another Fred versus Road and my whatnot bullshit so everybody can make money with all y'all in your groups. And as a distraction ever. I mean, fuck him, fuck all y'all. However, what did you just say?
I bet he thought no one's going to pull this out on you. Well, we just pulled it out on you. We just pulled it out. We just proved that your ass knew about this cemetery. You knew. You calling Andy silly and saying that, he's seen exactly what you guys done. I bet he did.
What did you just fucking say again?
About this cemetery. You knew. You calling Andy silly and saying that, he's seen exactly what you guys done. I bet he did.
When did I fucking say this? Is that in that fucking audio there? I don't know. There's some. You're fucking stupid. You just make shit wrong with it. You fucking bag of shit. I'm surprised you and Andy managed to get married. You ain't carted him away. He loves bitches like you. You're fucking stupid, bitch. Oh my God. Like, I never said anything like that or whatever y'all misconstrued or altered to do whatever. I just. Oh, Lord. Didn't she say if they're not saved like Billy or something like that or whatever? And wasn't that why she had Marlena screaming about it at a point or something? She had Marlena saying that I was laughing and saying Billy seen what I was done or something. Now you've moved it to be like Andy seen. You're fucking ridiculous, PG. Pick a damn lane. Pick a fucking lane, broad. Holy shit. Ain't nothing saying if I did shit. Other than what I said I was doing that day. Minding my own goddamn business, having an average Tuesday, until it wasn't fucking average anymore. After 6:09 p.m. Lord. What an idiot. This is stupid. I'll never get this time back. I totally wasted my time even listening to shit. What a tragedy. That wasn't even good. Wasn't hard hitting. That wasn't, hey, Jody Sue cut off Summer's feet and did this crossed hills with him. I mean, this wasn't the old days when she'd be like, can't just get up here and do all the fuck shit in Summer's face so we can target Jody Sue. Days. Damn, PG. Dire circumstances of it or something? Shit getting dire? I don't know. Sweet baby Jesus. Holy shit. That's why no Dawn, no PG, no JSP. fake or real Andy, I don't know. The people who play with you, the ones taking money with y'all and for you and by you. Uh, bro, I'd rather have snacks and enjoy what's left of the darkness and the storm. Notice it one way after uh, PG stopped calling summer it and moved on to other things. Might be a sign from the universe. Damn storms look at you every time. And so, yeah. I don't know, guys. I think we've came, saw, and conquered here. I can only imagine how much longer this is. I could probably look, I guess, if I really fucking cared to. I'm sure by the end of it, sure by the end of it, she was being like, Josie, Josie, get over here so I can kick your ass or something, or you, or whatever. Sure was something. Gaslighty or screaming or who the fuck really knows. I don't really care. Actually, let's just skip to that part. This is sort of where I'm at on the red line, which is somewhere here. Uh, Fuck it. We're gonna go here, see what happens last. Oh my god, you sick bitch. Y'all, look what she's done to someone. Oh, as a $7.99 chat comes up for her. In the name of Jesus and Summer Wells for all this bullshit she pulled tonight. Look, there's a super chat for all of her hard work. And this is what the fuck she's done. With all that money you pump in that she swears is going to all the programs to create all the beautiful things for you. Do you see what she's done to Summer again? With the wording, this world was not my home. You should feel bad every time. PG, that you fucking coward behind that avatar. Make her look so absurd. But you make fun of and tell stories and lies on her real pictures. You ought to be goddamn ashamed of yourself. And to say this world was not her home. Bitch, this world is her home. This world is where her story and light are and shine. And it helps shine and out monsters like you who use her and create the most vile, atrocious images of her that are horrifying. Why you make fun of her beautiful pictures, her real ones. You cut her apart. You paste her up, right, PG? For the almighty dollar. Cause you're right, bitch. Your tongue says it every time. Can't say sold. You always say sold. And you were sold at the crossroads willingly. You are indeed the devil. And you are one of the most horrendous beings on this planet, in my opinion. And Summer's beautiful, real photos are really Summer. Not these things you make by cutting her up and selling her off. These are the atrocities that you have the audacity to commit against the little girl named Summer that we all know and know that this world is her home and where her story and her light shine. Despite all of you monsters. And one day she and law enforcement and feds and her brothers will tell it. Despite all of you monsters. And hopefully by that time her light will have shone enough on you to out all of you for what you are. And to help bring you all to justice as well. For what you all have done to those like her case, Michael's, Dylan's, Petito's, Quentin's, Harmony's, Delphi, so many others, Cash, Classic, Sincere, Kaneka's, Watts, so many in between, Kylie's, Sebastian's, Holland's, Layla's, Cotton's. May her light shine so bright that it creates the change needed so these atrocities are never done and are around another active and ongoing investigation again. And so the people that know these victims, survivors, and survivors can speak safely and search for help in real voices and real hearts. For those that really who are not lost, but waiting somewhere to be found on this earth that is indeed their home, and where their stories and lights should always shine. You suck, PG. You suck. You are the devil. Oh, dear. Well, should know better than to skip forward. Should have known. Now you got a response. Y'all happy tonight? For that reason, I'm not going to skip any further. Surely it gets worse from there. Clemency. PG. It's not something meant for your types. Mercy. And we're going to go out the same way we came in. And then I'm going to enjoy some snacks out in the darkness. And hopefully there's still a few sprinkles out there somewhere, though I've not heard any after the skies opened up. As PG was continuing to call summer it tonight. And saying the most terrible things. Actually, really, I don't know. I'm torn. Stevie Ray or. And then we'll go out the same way we came in. Y'all, as always, please share the DV/Universal Hand Signal for help. It can and does save lives.
And then on a corner and wins.
From kidnappings, assaults, public settings, private settings, crimes happening in homes, domestic violence, of course, health emergencies, those who are verbally disabled or have disabilities or speech, or settings where you can't make a call, but you can do a signal to a friend over the app, or even some police are set up now in call centers to take. One day, hopefully, that'll be worldwide. But it can and does save lives, not just those facing domestic violence or abductions or kidnappings, okay, in public. And please continue to share Summer's picture, information, and color burning. And by information, you know I do not mean social media or talking head, bullhorn, and fist bumping bullshit. I mean real legitimate sources, investigative journalists, those like Bobo and Ansley, and sources like WJHL, WCYB, Rogers Review, Hawkins News, which is Jeff Bobo over on YouTube, Times News Online, Kingsport Times Newspaper, Bristol Herald, Johnson City Press, obviously local and surrounding law enforcement, Tennessee State Police, TBI, and FBI. And stick with them. Please share Summer's flyer, top info, with our basics like weight, height, age, and then include a link if you can at the top to one of those sources, news articles, news pieces that are legitimate, and then change it out ever so often so that maybe the right ears and the right eyes at the right time are on it, and the key or whatever may still be needed might drop, so that Summer can be brought home and justice served. Please do that for her and her life. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy the speck, the storms, the dance. Be a good pebble, good spark, and a voice where you can.
Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that wanna own me, 2 that wanna stone me, 1 so she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand. Take it easy. Well, I'm take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say baby. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We may lose and we may win, but we will never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. So take it easy. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. Got a world of trouble on my mind. Looking for a lover who won't blow my cover. She's so hard to find. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. Oh, we got it easy. We ought to take it easy.
Y'all have a good night. Take it easy.